Warning! The Stone Age Gamer podcast includes a lot of bad language. Cover your motherfucking ears.
Good evening and welcome to the Stone Age Gamer podcast. I am Kris Randazzo and joining me tonight is Inappropriate Question with an even more inappropriate answer, Dan Ryan.
Yep, that sounds about right.
It's time to bust out the SAG bag. You sent us questions. We're going to do our best to answer them. What crazy inquiries are in store for us this time? Say nice things to a cactus because the Stone Age Gamer podcast starts now.
I understood that reference.
Oh, that's wonderful. This is episode 558. It's the week of March 21st, 2025. And welcome. For anyone new here, this is the official podcast of StoneAgeGamer.com. Dan and I spoil Daredevil every week about what's happening in the world of video games from a retro gamer's perspective. Look, I really did think that Evan would have thrown a spoiler tag, and I apologize to everybody. I should have been more careful. I should have been more red alerty about it. I am sorry. But anyway, we talk about retro games from retro gamers' perspective, as well as whatever heck is going on in our lives. Speaking of which, I have made a change that I think is genius.
Oh, okay.
And I tell me if I'm crazy. Tell me if this is something that everybody just does, because I don't do it, right? So,
okay.
One of my issues is getting to bed on time. I have a real problem getting to bed on time, especially since I started getting up early to go to the gym. Because we'll try to get the kids in bed and get downstairs and probably watch some TV by like 9 o'clock at the latest, right? So we'll sit down there,
right?
Then 10 o'clock will roll around, then I'm pretty well chilled, and then it's time to go to bed, right? So. Yeah. If I'm going to get up, if my alarm is going off at 5:15 to go to the gym, 10:15 is kind of like, that's lights out, right? I can't just be in bed. I got to be lights out at 10:15. 10 o'clock rolls around. I peel myself off the couch because I'm super tired. And then I go upstairs and I floss and I brush my teeth and I use mouthwash and then I'm awake. Right? So what I decided was, I'm going to do that when the kids go to bed. So as soon as I'm done putting the kids to bed, I'm going to do my whole teeth brushing routine. That way, one, I'm not I have something stopping me from snacking after the kids go to bed, eating late, which affects my sleep. And also, once I'm done, like when I'm done with this podcast, I'm just going to get right into bed. I have nothing else to do. I've already brushed my teeth. My breath is minty fresh. I don't have any dessert to have afterwards. I had a glass of chocolate milk right after my dinner. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to just go right into bed. And it's been working out pretty damn well because I can get to bed on time. The problem is I'm not sleeping through the night, but it's only been 2 nights.
Right.
Who knows what could be waking up in the middle of the night. My headache has woken me up the one day, and the other day was just who the fuck knows. I just woke up at like 3:45 and it's like, well, this is just my life now.
I'm just up now.
I'm just up.
Here I am.
Time to go do some work. I went downstairs and wrote a bunch of stuff. But does that make sense? Is this just what people normally do? Do people brush their teeth right before going to bed? And how do they manage to get themselves to bed after brushing your teeth like that? It's so invigorating.
It's never been that. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. I don't I don't put the toothbrush up my ass. Which I imagine is what's invigorating you.
Things can be invigorating that don't involve your ass. I'm just saying.
They cannot.
Possible.
That's not true. I've tried, and I'm like, look, this is what we're in for. If you're cool with it, then we can proceed. I do the whole teeth brushing thing in the shower. I keep all that stuff in the shower because I'm already in there, and like that's part of I shower before I go to bed.
Before you go to bed. Okay.
Yeah, like I shower and dry off, and then I'm in bed, and that's kind of the routine. And I take like super hot showers, so I'm always like really like I'm kind of relaxed and tired when I get out. So I just do the whole thing in the shower. Just keep it all because I'm already in there. It's already wet. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I was doing showers in the afternoon, but with the gym, now I've taken to doing it earlier in the day, usually around like 10 or 11, like before lunch, because like I'll come home from the gym, just sweaty, disgusting mess, but I don't stop sweating for at least another hour. And then I got to take the kids to and from school, and then I got to walk the dogs. And by the time I'm done, it's like, well, now I've got to get in front of the computer to get social media up before 10 a.m.
Right.
So then after I've closed more tickets and posted all the social media, it's already like 10:30. So then I'll run upstairs and do like my whole shower routine. So that's been odd, but it's been working out okay because I'm not getting myself all, most of my physical activity is happening earlier in the day. So it's not like I don't feel dirty when I go to bed at night. Now, once summer rolls around, maybe that's going to change.
That's a different story.
That's a horse of a different color.
But, I think that makes sense, though, right? Like, if you're finding that the teeth brushing is too invigorating,
it's the mouthwash. That's what it is. It's doing the mouthwash because it's the
get
super
a less
tingly.
sexy mouthwash.
Never.
What kind of mouthwash are you using?
I'm just using Listerine, but it's like, okay. It tingles. It's like kind of a burny, this is mouthwash, You swish it around. I'm not just standing there. And then by the time I'm done, I'm like, I'm not like doing jumping jacks by the time I'm done, but like I get into bed and I'm like, well, I'm awake now because I was sedentary and then I made it up the stairs and then I was like, all right. Flossing, okay, still tired. Teeth brushing, all right. Now I'm doing things. Now I'm a little more awake. Now mouthwash, and then wiping down counters and everything because I do that every day. And like then I'm up, and then I'm also usually watching something on YouTube while I'm doing it. So like now I'm in bed and I got my phone on and I'm doing things and I'm up, and then I can't get to sleep for another 15-20 minutes at least, and then I'm just not getting enough sleep. But these last 2 days, doing the early teeth brushing, it's been working out for me, and I'm pretty damn proud of the idea. I felt like a genius, and I also felt like an ass for not thinking of doing it sooner, right? Because the whole having a glass of chocolate milk every night, I just need to stop doing that. Like it just gets more out of habit. Like I love drinking a glass of chocolate milk, but there's been a lot of times where it's like, I don't really need this, but I just want it because I have it every day. I deserve this kind of a thing. But if I brush my teeth, I'm not going to have a glass of chocolate milk. So like,
no, certainly not.
It'll certainly calm down my want to do all that stuff. And then if I'm like, Hopper's going outside and it's like, all right, waiting around for him, standing in the kitchen, grab a tortilla, put a little cheese on it, while I'm standing there. Not going to do that now.
Make myself a quick quesadilla while I'm out. I threw together a steak and eggs quick. Hopper was outside. What are you gonna do? This is my microwave.
Feeling hungry, feeling a little snackish, but there's nothing quite like the taste of mouthwash and then like eating food after it. That's not a good situation. You want that to be a few hours later. So I think it's going to help dissuade me from eating and eventually get better sleep.
Well, I hope it works out for you. I
hope all things work out for me.
Yeah, well, sure. I find, as we've discussed before, I find sleep to just be the stupidest thing that we have to do. I fucking hate it. I hate doing it. It's so boring. I would rather be doing shit.
God, we could be so productive if we didn't have to sleep.
Oh my God. If I didn't need to get 7 hours or 6 hours or whatever. It's just dumb. It's dumb, and I hate it, and I don't want to do it. I haven't been sleeping as well since the time change, and normally that doesn't affect me, but this week it really has, and I am not happy about it. I'm also annoyed because a couple of the games that I play, Marvel Snap in particular, when we were on the previous time, the clock reset at 10 o'clock at night. So you could claim your free shit and see if there was anything new to update, whatever. Now that resets at 11 o'clock, and it now resets at 11 and 6. So if I go to bed before 11, I'm missing credits and I'm missing stuff, and my FOMO won't allow me to do it, which is absurd to say out loud, but is also honest. You know, so now I'm going to sleep like right after 11 and getting up at like 6 still. I'm like, all right, that's still more than enough. That's 7 hours. It's fine. Still hate it. I don't want to do it. I'd rather just be up.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
It really is. It's fucking still like, why haven't we figured this out yet?
This entire human experience has a lot of... It's really flawed, top to bottom.
Yeah, the Lord works in mysterious ways, Kris, which is just a way to say, I don't fucking know.
Like God's an asshole.
Yeah, intelligent design? I don't know. There's a couple things that we might have maybe not done if we were redesigning the product. Just saying. If we were going back for version 2.0, maybe like, I don't know, your pancreas can kill you. Like, I would probably not do that next time.
Could use some.
Your heart could explode. Nah,
use some of that evolution. You know what I mean? There's some of that good shit. Like wings.
Some of that sweet evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome. Or a third set of teeth.
Yeah. What's that about? Do you lose your second? All right, you get these first ones for a little bit. These ones are for life, though.
Yeah,
fuck you.
You get the first set for like 6 years, and then the rest. Good luck. However, God bless you. You made it to your 90s. How many teeth you got left that are yours? Not
fingernails, toenails. They'll grow forever.
Forever. Hair in your ears? That'll happen. But a third set of teeth? Nah, you're fine.
Teeth, we're done with.
Plus, think of how fun it would be, like the adult tooth fairy. Think of how much fun you could have with that. And like making fun of your like 50-year-old friends because they lost their 2 front teeth at the same time. That'd be great. What an awesome idea this is. But no. Ugh. Stupid God.
Well, with that, shall we get down to business?
Sure. Why not?
All right, so our feature topic this week is the SAG Bag. This is our mailbag episode where you send us questions and we attempt to answer them. We did this not that long ago, and it went so well, it was determined that we needed to do it far more often than we do. And I like it because it means that I have to do very little in the way of prep work for the show. So,
which is great. I had to do even less prep work than I normally do, which is none. I just come down here and I'm this good.
It's just natural.
Oh
you
my
can't
God.
make this shit up.
Imagine if I did prep.
Oh, Jesus. I don't think I can.
No. I don't think I ever have.
All right, so it seems like everything that we got was sent to the Discord. I can't find any emails. I feel like they must exist, and I just can't find them because I'm a bastard.
Sure.
I feel bad about that. So if you did send us an email and we don't read it on the show, it's not because we don't like you. It's because I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's fair. Let's go with that. Yeah.
Here we are in the Discord. I'm just going to start picking some random questions as we go. And the first one came from Dean, the Vest Lord. He wants to know, why doesn't everyone wear a vest?
I mean, I'll be honest. So I want to wear a vest. Okay. I have spent a decent amount of time imagining what my doctor outfit would be. Okay. And I know, Kris, you understand that reference, but for those of you who don't, for the most part, in Doctor Who, the Doctor wears a costume, right? And it's lovingly referred to in a lot of online spaces as their doctor outfit. And it's always a big deal when he picks it at the beginning, or she or they pick it at the beginning of their new run as the Doctor. And part of mine, I think, I would love to be able to wear a vest, but I am a barrel-chested, broad-shouldered fuck, and vests don't look good on me. So I can't. I would love to. but I know my limitations.
I just don't have any interest in them. I don't see the point. I got t-shirts. I guess vests are nice in a formal wear setting, but outside of that, just not really my not my bag of tea.
Oh man, I would rock one every day if I could. Vest over like a fucking shirt and some corduroy pants. That's my dream. That's where I want to live.
What is stopping you?
I'm too barrel chested. I'm too they don't look good on me.
Well, who the fuck cares?
I do. I don't think it looks good. You know, I look at it and I go, man, that does, in my mind, the idea that I have in my mind is not what I see when I wear a vest. So
maybe you're just putting on the wrong vests.
That could be true. Because, I mean, I do have, I wear the corduroys almost daily, and I wear the flannel shirt all the time. It's either a flannel shirt or a t-shirt, and then corduroys or jeans. That's kind of where I live for the most part. And I would love there to be a vest as part of that, but I don't think it looks good. So I don't do it. Yeah.
Well, all right then.
Yeah.
Well, let's see here. Scrolly. Scion Storm asks, what's a food or drink you've never had that you'd love to try?
A food or drink I've never had that I would love to try.
I actually have an answer to this, and I'm going to be trying it this week.
Oh, okay. Hit us with your best shot. Yeah.
Let me find the
fire away.
I want to find I sent myself the recipe because I'm very curious about it. So I found this online just from scrolling around, found a picture of it, and I was like, what the hell is that? And it is creamsicle orange cookies.
Okay.
It's an orange flavored cookie that's bright orange with white chocolate chips.
Yeah. I'm into that.
Yeah.
That sounds like yeah, 100%.
If that is half as good as it sounds, and I love the creamsicle situation. I'm very into it. The other thing I found that this one I'm a little bit less sure on. This is a little weird. I think I really want to try it, but I don't have the highest of hopes. I came across, did I text that or did I Facebook message it? There it is. All right. Came across this yesterday on Facebook. Apparently there is some sort of pizza place called Crave that sells this. It is a chicken and waffles pizza.
Oh, I've had that. It's so good. We have a place by us that does it, and it's fucking amazing.
Deep fried chicken, waffles, sharp cheddar cheese, and maple syrup. I think it's the cheese in there that's kind of throwing me off, but
it works.
Yeah, I'm imagining that it probably does work, and I could probably rock this shit because chicken and waffles. We love chicken and waffles in this house.
Who the fuck doesn't?
It's just such a great combination.
It's so good.
And I make my own pizza all the time, so this seems like a pretty solid situation. The waffle mix I use is I get the golden waffle stuff that they have in hotels. You have to order it online, but I get that couple canisters of that. That's in the house pretty much at all times. And
I love that shit.
I love
a continental breakfast.
Oh, good times.
I love to make your own waffle. Oh, it's good stuff.
Love it. And the as far as the chicken is concerned, I'm not going to go and making my own deep fried chicken. That's just, I don't have time for that on a pizza night when I'm already making pizza. But, get some frozen chicken strips. There's some good stuff out there. Stick them in the air fryer. Call that a win. That's usually what we put on our chicken and waffles. I think it's
right.
I don't know that I'm trying it this week. I haven't made pizza in 2 weeks, actually, because our weekends have been so fucking busy. I haven't been able to make the pizza. So we ordered pizza the last 2 weeks, which has been nice because I really like pizza that other people make too. I love my pizza, but I also really like it when other people make pizza. It's great. So, But as far as like, types of food, I am trying to get a little bit more into some Asian cuisines. I'm interested in more noodle-based Asian foods that I'd like to try more of. But I think that's pretty much it. Besides those two specific things, chicken and waffle pizza and creamsicle cookies. I swear to God, these cookies look fucking incredible. They're bright orange.
That sounds awesome. I'm into that.
I'm so excited to try this out. I'm probably going to try it on Wednesday. And nobody knows. This one I'm playing close to the vest. Right. I have two people that are my like real testers with this stuff besides the kids, and it's obviously Karen, my wife, and my friend Erica. And I asked them both how they feel about creamsicles because I have this to hide behind. I talk about food all the fucking time. So there's nothing suspicious at all. They don't know I'm up to something. But Wednesday, there's going to be these cookies when Karen gets home, and I'm going to bring one with me to pick up the kids, and that's going to be the situation. And hopefully, they're as good as they look.
I can't imagine they won't be. I enjoy that shit. So
you already eat everything too, right?
Yeah, I do. There's nothing that I won't try. The only thing that I can like, as you were talking, I was thinking like, man, what's a food that I haven't tried that I would like to try just because I'm curious. And that would be bear. Because I saw Anthony Bourdain eat it once. I think he was in like Russia or some shit. And he was like, there was bear on the menu. And I was like, fuck, I'll try that. That's interesting. So I've had like, whatever weird meat you can, like quote unquote weird meat that you can get in America. Like I've had all of that shit. But like we don't sell bear, I'm just curious. I'd be interested to try it. So yeah, I would like to try bear. And for a drink, I've never had it. I can't imagine that I ever will have it because it's just so prohibitively expensive for what it is. There is one of the most well-known bourbon makers in the world is Buffalo Trace, the Buffalo Trace Distillery. And they own a bunch of other brands and whatever. Perhaps their most high-end elusive spirit, if you will, is the 23-year-old Pappy Van Winkle bourbon. So this is like a special bottle of bourbon that retails for anywhere between $2,000 to $4,000 a bottle. And I just would love to, because I like bourbon. I don't love bourbon the way bourbon people love bourbon, mostly because I just don't think I've tried enough different bourbons yet to really understand the nuances and the differences between them. Certainly the way that I have with craft beer at this point. I've been doing the craft beer thing for, 15 years, 20 years at this point, of just experimenting and trying these different things. I can damn near recognize, individual hop strains in like weird ass beers. So that I'm really comfortable with. But bourbon is something that I've kind of dipped my toe into a little bit more frequently over the last couple of years. And there's just so many styles and variations and years and all of those different things. But this is the fucking white whale. You know what I mean? Like, this is the one where you're like, I've had Pappy. And, a single shot of this is over $100. And I would never spend that much on a single shot of anything. So yeah, but if somebody was like, hey, I have a bottle of fucking 23-year-old Pappy Van Winkle, which is the Rip Van Winkle, I would be super interested to try that just to see, like, what the fuck makes this $4,000 a bottle? Wow. And my guess is nothing. That's my guess. Honestly, like, I've bought beer that is the best of the best, the fucking super tits of like whatever, and spent a lot of money on certain beers. And then I've had $3 beers that I think are just as good right? It's the hype, it's the marketing, it's the scarcity of it, it's all of those things that also goes into the price. But yeah, those would be the two things. I would like to have them together. Actually, I would like a bear steak and a fucking glass of Pappy Van Winkle. Call it a night.
All right.
Yeah.
We are two very different people.
Well, I've had the chicken and waffle pizza, and I know I would like creamsicle cookies. I fucking love creamsicles.
I cannot imagine myself even wanting to. You know what? Just for the absurdity of it, just to know that it would officially be wasted on me. Yeah, I'll try the Pappy Van Winkle because I'll hate it no matter what. I'm gonna hate it.
No, that would be the one where you'd be like, "Well, this is the only one I like."
Just
this $4,000.
If you want me to drink with you, it's gonna cost you. All right, Scion Storm's got another one here. It says, this is more of a question for Dan. Now that you've had a taste of the PC landscape with your Steam Deck, do you see a world in which you could potentially leave the PlayStation ecosystem and go PC only? Why or why not?
No. Yeah, well, yes and no. Because yes, I could see myself getting into the dick measuring contest that is building my own PC. I 100% could see that. The only reason that I wouldn't leave the PlayStation ecosphere, as it were, is because it takes Sony so damn long to put their exclusives on PC.
And when they do, they don't always show up with the greatest of results?
Exactly.
From what I've come to understand?
Yeah, there are certain issues that they have, but like, I am going to play when it comes out because we got the trailer for it this week. It was like an 11-minute trailer or some shit on IGN for Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Like, I'm buying that on launch day. I don't have to wait a year or two for them to decide to put it on the PC. Because I couldn't wait that long. I can't, like, that's not a game. Ghost of Yotai, when that comes out, those are the, like, as much as I don't have a lot of time to dedicate to gaming of like, I'm going to sit down and play this 20-hour game all the way through, those are the ones that I do. So, yeah, I don't see a world until they became like, even 6 months, I don't know if that would be, because I fucking hate spoilers. I hate them so much.
Yeah, me too, especially when I accidentally give them on the show and don't.
Yeah, no, I feel like, I know we were joking about it earlier, but like I feel really bad about that because I
feel very bad, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, like I legitimately hate fucking spoilers. I'm so excited. Like, as an aside, Robert Kirkman today said that season 4 of the Invincible cartoon will be an entirely new storyline that was not in the comics. And I was like, oh, fuck, yes, dude. Like, because even though they're changing things between the show and the comics, I still know what's coming. Like, I knew who was showing up last week because I read the Invincible War comic. I haven't watched any of this
season yet. And I've never read the comics, so.
Oh, it's so fucking good. It's so good. I love it so much. But yeah, I hate spoilers so much that I just don't think I could do it. And it's not even like there are huge spoilers in video games anymore. You know, like, there wasn't anything in like Ghost of Tsushima where I'd have been like, well, fuck, I know that now, and it kind of ruins it for me. You know, the ending of the first God of War remake where, spoilers if you haven't played it yet, I don't think this needs a siren because the game came out a long time ago. But when you find out your kid is Loki, like, that was a fucking shock. But I found that out around the same time everybody else did because I bought the game on launch day. You know? Yeah.
Well, Scion Storm suggested that I try to spin it for myself. As like, you know, since Nintendo exclusives aren't on PC, I don't know what to say other than I would never, because I'm too much of a basic bitch. I need my console with its very closed architecture of push button, turn on. The PC gaming, there's always that one little extra hurdle. It's just not quite as simple as turn thing on, play game immediately. Like that's
right.
I'm too basic of a bitch to get involved in the PC landscape. I do appreciate certain PC games. I enjoyed my PC when I was younger for Monkey Island and Doom and Ultima of the False Prophet and King's Quest V and Paratrooper Bob 1, The Incredible Machine. Like, I very much enjoyed DOS games back in the day, but that's where I draw the line.
Yeah, like if Steam goes, or if Valve goes ahead and releases the Steam box, that seems to be like a poorly kept secret at this point. Like, we know one is coming, like the console version of the Steam Deck. I think that would be really exciting. I'd be very excited to get that. And that would certainly give it some more parity with consoles, but it really is just the timing of the exclusives for me that kills it.
All right. Well, let's see. Anthony's got a good question here. What is your favorite weird controller? Mine is a PS2 controller called the Nyko Airflow. That was a decent and mostly normal-looking controller, but it had a USB-powered fans in the grips to keep the hands cool.
I remember that shit.
I remember that controller quite well. That's pretty darn awesome. What's my favorite weird controller?
I mean, I think my answer is pretty simple. Even though it was the standard controller for the system, I still think it's fucking weird, and that would be the ColecoVision controller.
Yeah, I guess that was pretty weird.
That's a weird fucking controller. It's got a fucking numpad on it. And like a joystick and like weird buttons on the side. I mean, as far as
so did the number pad. The Jaguar had that. The television had that too. But
I know, but it's still kind of weird. What was the fucking NES one with the little circle disc in it?
The NES Max.
The Max, yes. I like that one for some weird reason. I don't know if that really hits the weird controller.
It's not my favorite to use, but it's my favorite one that I ever had, and I sold it, and I'm so sad that I did, but I sold it for a decent amount of money to somebody who really fucking wanted it. So
yeah,
but my favorite one I've ever had. Favorite one that I've ever had is the Dragon Quest Slime controller for PS2. It's just completely absurd. It was delightful, and you just turn it upside down and play on the thing's butt, basically. It's so weird.
That thing is dumb as shit. I
loved that thing, and I'm so sad that I sold it, but it made the person I sold it to very, very happy. So that's probably my favorite weird controller that I can think of off the top of my head.
I would like to have the chainsaw controller just to have it.
Yeah, the chainsaw controller was pretty wild.
Because that is just banana sandwich. That is a fucking wild idea. Because the Steel Battalion controller is crazy and weird and whatever, but in the context of the game, it makes sense. There is no world in which slapping a controller onto a chainsaw is a good idea.
Chainsaw.
Yeah. Anyway.
Chainsaws have been somewhat sullied for me. A Coleco chainsaw controller. Got it. Perfect.
That would be amazing. A chainsaw with a numpad on it? Come on.
I'll ask another one of Anthony's. He said, if you have to choose only one condiment to put on a hot dog, what would it be? Mine's ketchup. I love a hot dog and ketchup. It's just my favorite thing. Now, I'll add more than ketchup. Like my favorite is cheddar cheese, pickles, ketchup, and mustard. But if I've just got one to choose from, it's just ketchup. That's
Am I allowed to say chili? Is that a condiment in this?
I think in
context?
This scenario that counts. Yeah, in this scenario,
because that would be my answer.
All right,
if I'm not allowed to say chili, like if people are like, no, that's also a food, you fatty. What was it? Fatty Mc... What tits? I don't
Fatty
remember
McButter
now.
tits.
Fatty McButtertits. That's it. Yeah, Fatty McButtertits. That's two foods together. If it's not that, then it would be a really high quality brown mustard, because I dislike, I was going to say despise, but that's not true. I dislike yellow mustard. I like a very bougie brown mustard, though. So I would definitely choose that for a hot dog over ketchup if I had to pick one of those two. But chili would be, without question, number one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Chronodin's got a couple of questions here. I'm going to skip around a bit, just because there's a ton to get through.
Sure.
Let's see. Chronodin, the episode I'm listening to now made me think of this. Has there ever been a game series, in your opinion, that was annualized and it turned out to be the right decision for that franchise? Since it seems like most of the time when a series is annualized, it tends to make it feel stagnant, ironically, or sometimes ruin it completely. No. I can't think of an instance where annualizing a game has ever been a good idea. Can I help you?
Yeah, I mean, I would probably agree.
What are you woofing at?
Tell him, Hop. Hop doesn't think so either. Or he's trying to communicate to you and Dog the one, like, he's got the answer. He's like, idiots, it's this one. It's so obvious. Because, like, I feel like Call of Duty going annual was the right choice at the time, because it was bouncing around to different studios, and they were doing
different developers, and they were doing very different things. Yeah. Okay.
They were doing very different things that were interesting and innovative and all of those things. And then after a while, it just kind of like, well, we were out of shit. So I would say Call of Duty, with the caveat that it didn't last forever. But at the time, it was the right idea.
Okay. Good enough.
Yeah.
Let's see. We've got one here from Duroc Pig. Are there any games, in your opinion, that are generally seen as mediocre and maybe were treated too harshly, but you still feel they have some redeeming quality?
Most of the platformers for the Super Nintendo. I think, like, Arrow the Acrobat and that ilk are pretty mediocre. But have some redeeming qualities. They're charming and fun and that sort of thing. Is that the question? Am I understanding it right?
It's something that is generally viewed as mediocre, but you think is actually pretty good. I think that's what he's asking. I think Cool Spot is better than people give it credit for.
Yeah. I don't know that I agree with you, but okay, so in that idea, I don't know that I disagree with you. I mean, probably a lot of the Master System games I played. I think fucking Black Belt is better than people give it credit for. That game's fucking dope as shit. I like My Hero a lot. I recognize that they're probably just pretty average. Fuck, man. I think the answer for me for this one, and it might break my heart to say it, but Splatterhouse on the TurboGrafx, like, that game's average as fuck. I love the shit out of it. It's one of my favorite games of all time.
I feel like that's not a game that most people consider mediocre, though.
I don't know. Is it not? It's pretty fucking mediocre.
I mean, it is, but I think it's pretty highly revered. I think the people that love it really love it.
But does that make it better? I don't know.
You know what? I'm going to say Space Invaders for Nintendo 64. I think a lot of people look at that one as like, that's pretty mid. Same as Frogger for PlayStation 1. I think those games are fantastic.
Yeah. Is Siphon Filter? Siphon Filter's considered pretty mid, right?
I think
because it's not Metal Gear and it's not Metal Gear and it's not Splinter Cell. It's that other one. But I love those games. I think they're great. Yeah. I'll go with Siphon Filter.
It looks like there's
Leisure Suit Larry 5. That game was amazing. You all got it wrong.
there seems to be some conversation about this one being too similar to another question, so I'm going to go ahead and ask it. Drock Pig, this is another one of his. I don't know if this is too similar, but you made me think of it. What would you guys say is your favorite and least favorite gaming peripherals? Power glove, light guns, VR headset, DK bongos, etc. There's a ton of choices out there. Favorite peripheral and least favorite peripheral. Favorite peripheral. I have always loved the power pad. I think the power pad was super fun and didn't live up to, like, they could have made some more games with that thing, and they obviously didn't. Yeah. But I think the ones that they did showed a lot of great potential. So yeah, I love that. I mean, I love light guns in general. I think
for sure,
light gun games are phenomenal. House of the Dead 2. That things of that ilk. I love me a good light gun game, especially when you think outside of the box. When you're looking at something like Gumshoe on NES, where it's like, yeah, we'll make a fucking platformer out of a light gun game. Sure, let's do it.
Why not? Fuck it.
Why not?
Yeah.
Least favorite peripheral. I think the Menacer is a pile of shit.
That thing is a piece of shit.
I can't help but love the Aura Interactor, even though it's not, it's just a fucking, what's the subwoofer that you strap to your chest like a vest?
Yeah.
To get back to the vest
that's
question.
Pretty great. There you go.
Yeah.
That's the vest everyone should wear.
There it is. It's stupid, but I can't help but love it. Oh, geez. I know there's ones that I'm forgetting, but off the top of my head, there was the U-Force was pretty shit. The fucking, what was it, the Sega Activator? That octagon thing that you stood inside of and flailed around in? That
doesn't work.
That was absolutely not okay.
No, that doesn't work.
Batter Up was pretty shit, too.
Yeah. I think my least favorite one is probably the PlayStation iToy. Mostly because I felt like there was so much potential for that one. Like, specifically when they really only nailed it the one time when they did the Harry Potter Wonder Book, like with all the spells, and you would do it with the what the fuck was that controller called? With the big nubby light on the end of it.
PlayStation Move?
The Move, yeah. The Move controller. Like, that was so fucking cool. But then they really did nothing else with it. But favorite peripheral is either the DK bongos or a Guitar Hero controller. Because they were just so damn fun.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Like, just an absolute blast.
Oh, let's see. Unas11 asks, Dan, you left us with a cliffhanger. The Banana Shake IPA. How was it? I've lost sleep because of this thing.
It was pretty good. There wasn't enough banana. Banana's a really hard flavor to nail down in beers that aren't wheat beers. A lot of wheat beers have a tendency to be very banana forward or very bubblegum forward. Just because the particular combination of ingredients, they release those esters. And there's also an English brewery called Wells that does a banana bread beer that is very banana heavy. But when you're getting beers that have like banana puree or flavoring or whatever as an adjunct in the beer itself, they can kind of be hit or miss. And this one was pretty good. Like, the banana was there, but it wasn't, in my opinion anyway, strong enough to consider it like a banana milkshake IPA. Because the other thing about like the milkshake IPA, it's not thick like a milkshake. They're just called that because they're hazy and they're brewed with like vanilla and that sort of stuff and lactose to give it kind of a creamier feel. So it was good, just not as banana forward as I would like.
I see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. I got
That's a solid question, though.
I got one or two more, and then I'm going to actually turn it over to you. I just sent you a Google Doc that was sent to us by Trashman, which is all the... Remember the giant list of questions?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he made a new one, and I'm going to let you pick from that list. But we've got a couple more questions regularly here in the Discord. Anthony asks again, what is a game mechanic that you think is brilliant, but has barely been used?
Huh.
Spinning the camera around like a globe.
Because
not so much. My gut reaction is Crypt of the Necrodancer. Okay, yeah.
Even though I didn't love that game, I think the mechanic itself is really interesting. But I don't know that I would go so far as to say brilliant but underused. I mean, fuck, at this point, co-op, I think, is brilliant but underused.
I'm going to go with asymmetric multiplayer, similar to like when Rayman came out on the Wii U, where one person was like moving the stage around while the other person was playing. Things to that effect, like what's that game? Affordable Space Adventures. Like, there's been a handful of stuff that does that, but the asymmetric multiplayer, I think, is a Legend of Zelda 4 Swords is another great example of that. Like, everybody's got their own unique. Like, you have to be kind of in a similar situation where everybody's got their own unique screen, but also like share a screen. And I think asymmetric multiplayer is my answer.
Like like Pac-Man Versus.
Yeah.
So fucking fun. I mean, what an absolute joy that was to play in the right setup. You know, like when you had everybody involved in doing their thing, what a fucking cool idea. I would say maybe stuff like Donut County too. That sort of like world manipulation, but also telling like an interesting story through it and not having it just be a like look at the cool physics things we can do, I think is maybe on that list as well.
Fucking love Donut
That's a good
County.
question.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Chronodin asks, what would be your dream launch title for the Switch 2? Assume it's a brand new title, maybe in an existing Nintendo franchise, but not a remaster or a remake. What's the game about, and what's the title?
I would love... Here's what I want. I want a Super Mario RPG style game, like with deep lore and story and the interesting mechanics and all of that stuff, but I want it starring the characters of pro wrestling.
All right, that's pretty cool.
That's what I want. That is the guy. I want to know fucking what's up with the Amazon and fucking Great Panther.
Or know more about what is King Khan's actual personality.
Like, I think there's a really interesting game there.
I don't disagree.
Fuck it, just a new pro wrestling. That would be enough.
I'm going to say my dream launch title for Switch 2 would be a full reinvention, a potentially asymmetric multiplayer, but a 3D platformer kind of a situation that is a full-on reboot of Gyromite. That involves Professor Hector, Rob the Robot, and potentially a third character, like maybe a kid or something, to work with them in some sort of cooperative 3D platformer that utilizes just the weirdness that was Gyromite. And like, Rob the Robot is such a neat design, and the fact, like, when you look at him in Smash Brothers and Mario Kart DS, where you're incorporating the little attachments that went on to Rob, to have them somehow be incorporated into really bizarre game mechanics where you have to utilize these 3 different characters or 2 different characters with their own unique abilities to kind of like work together and solve specific puzzles. I think that would be my dream project. I think that would be the coolest damn thing to see.
Yeah, that'd be wild. That'd be really cool.
Gyromite. Catch it.
Gyromite.
All right, crack open that Google Doc and start asking some questions. It's time. It's about 5 minutes away from having to start gambling.
All right. I knew there was a reason.
Well, I did
think
it last time, and I want you to choose some.
Yeah, no, for sure. This first question, I think, is a brilliant question that I think a lot of us have a way lower fucking number on than we would like to admit. What percentage of your game collection have you beaten? Doesn't have to be 100% complete, but games that you have beaten.
Best guess.
I think a better question for you, Kris, is how many of your collection have you actually played? What is your percentage?
Percentage
it's
of
also
have I
probably
actually played?
lower.
I'd say the percentage that I've actually played, even for a few moments, has got to be somewhere in the vicinity of 75 to 80%.
Really?
As far as
you think it's that? Okay.
I think it's that high. I think I've turned on most of, like, since I got rid of my Commodore 64 collection, which I had never touched.
Yeah,
that was like 100 some odd games. That increased my percentage considerably once that left my house.
Yeah.
There's a ton of PS2 games I have that I haven't touched, but it really those were just given to me. It was mere the garbage. I have no interest in trying those.
Sure. Sure.
So yeah, I'd say like 70% is probably for played, but finished. I'm going to be. I think 20% is generous. Yeah, I'm going to say about 20% seems that's going to smell about right for me.
Yeah, I was going to say I would probably put myself in like maybe the 35% category, but like I also do not have nearly the collection that all of you have because I sold most of it. You know what I mean? I got rid of so much stuff. Now that number is increasing with the Steam Deck. Where it just seems to be like, oh, this is on sale. I'll buy this. You know, like, fuck, man. But probably in like the 30 to 35%. But yeah, that's definitely lower than I want it to be. I wonder where everybody else falls too. Like, do you think we're the outliers?
I don't know. I mean, especially when you start, when you talking about people who have Steam libraries. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if most people who have several hundred games on Steam that cost them maybe $3.50 total.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a 50. Yeah. This is a 55 game bundle for 18 cents. All right, sure. I guess.
I'm in. Why not?
I might play one of those. Yeah, I think I feel confident there's a lot of people that have a lot of games that they've never touched. I don't know. That's a good question.
Oh, I do not have edit access, Kris, so I can't make them green.
I don't have the edit access either. I think Trashman will handle that for us.
Oh, okay. Oh, never mind. In that case. All right.
Yeah, this isn't my spreadsheet. This is Trashman's spreadsheet. So
okay. I like this one too. How much ice cream can you comfortably eat in one sitting? I think I could probably do comfortably a pint and a half of like Ben & Jerry's.
I'm exactly the same spot. Pint and a half, comfortably.
Maybe two, depending on the Ben & Jerry's flavor it is, right? Because some of them have a lot more like mix-ins and shit.
Yeah, some of them feel heavier than others, but yeah,
like I could definitely do like 2 pints of like Cherry Garcia for sure, because that's just fucking cherry ice cream, or like their coffee shit. But I don't know, some of the other ones, maybe a pint. Maybe a pint and a half. All right, let's see. This one. A great question that I'm going to have you answer first because I need a minute to think. Which film do you wish you could see again for the first time in a theater?
Again, first time in a theater. See again for the first time, like with the knowledge that I like now, like right now, or go back to that time and experience for the first time, because like
it doesn't say that. It just says, which film do you wish you could see again for the first time in the theater? So I think the spirit of the question is what you're saying.
Because like if it's reliving a moment in the theater, like for me, The Wizard and seeing Super Mario Brothers 3 for the first time was just about the most hyped I've ever been in my life. Other than that, just to be able to experience it, not knowing what was going to happen, being able to see, I think, Endgame again.
That was my answer. That's what I was going to say.
When Cap gets the hammer.
Oh my God.
That would just, this whole theater screaming, standing, cheering. Yes. Like, that was unfucking believable. So yeah, I think those are my two answers for the different flavors.
Every time I watch that scene, you just said it, and I got douche pimples on my arms. Like, I get douche bumps all the fucking time. I will give a different answer, though, because I feel like that's kind of an expected answer. But I went to see, I don't know where we were living at the time. It was probably Florida, when the Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez fucking Grindhouse movie came out. And it was the fucking Death Proof. And what was the Rodriguez one? Planet of the Zombies? Fuck, that's going to bother me.
Planet Terror.
Planet Terror, thank you. It was zombies and shit. Yeah, so Planet Terror and Death Proof. Planet Terror was the first half. Death Proof was the second half. I think that was everywhere. I don't know if they switched it up in different locations, but when we saw
everywhere.
So when we saw at the end of Death Proof, if nobody has seen this movie, it's fucking dope. You should watch both of them. They're really cool films. I would imagine if you like either of those two directors, you've seen them. But for whatever reason, if you haven't seen them, spoilers. Kurt Russell is such a bad guy in Death Proof. And it was such a nice turn for all of us who like grew up liking Kurt Russell to be like, fuck, he's such a bad guy in this movie. And there is such a moment of like female empowerment at the end of Death Proof that legitimately in the theater I saw it in, Tiff and every other, and Tiff does not like Quentin Tarantino, like vehemently gets upset whenever he is talking or like on screen. She fucking hates him. He just drives her nuts. She likes his movies enough. Certainly not to the level that like I do, but he really bothers her. And the fact that she had the visceral, out loud reaction to the end of Death Proof that she had, along with every other woman in the theater, there was cheering and clapping, and it was such a cool, interesting, like, for lack of a better, less douchey way to put it, organic moment where everyone in that theater kind of felt the same jolt of like, fuck, yeah, fuck! Like, it was awesome. It was so cool. Like, the way that guys get at sporting events, oh, shit! That's fucking great! That happened at the end of Death Proof in the theater I saw it in. So I would love to experience that for the first time again. I mean, but the obvious answer is fucking Endgame. Because holy shit.
I mean, the non-obvious answer for me might be Fellowship. Like, just, you know, the you shall not pass moment is one of the coolest things I think I've ever seen in my life. Like, that's just, that was something else. I mean, my favorite movie of all time is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but like, that's going to be another thing that's kind of sort of similar to The Wizard, where like, it was very specific, like, about being a kid. You know, like The Wizard, it was the fact that I didn't know Super Mario Brothers 3 existed, and I was a Nintendo-obsessed kid. So they open up those fucking doors, and it's Super Mario Brothers 3, and I'm like, oh, what? Just mind blown. Yeah. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, there was something about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like, so I'm a kid, and all I know of Ninja Turtles is the cartoon, right? It's all I know of it. And then I see this movie they're so real. Jim Henson was just a fucking wizard, and that's them. They look so much more real. They're using their weapons. They're cutting non-robotic foot soldiers. There's like that movie's, it's my favorite movie of all time.
It's a great fucking movie.
Seeing
Legit.
that for the first time as a kid who had never seen anything but an extremely family-friendly, sanitized version of the Ninja Turtles was like a super magic moment. So very similar to like seeing X-Men 2 for the first time. Like X-Men 2, I know you don't love that movie, but the scene where Wolverine is just slicing up dudes when the soldiers invade the mansion, and he stabs that guy against the fridge, and I was just like, holy fucking shit. Like, because superhero movies were not what they are today. You know, they were still in their infancy of trying to do them well. And again, growing up on X-Men, the cartoon, you always imagine Wolverine slicing up motherfuckers. He hints at it all the time that he's going to slice up a motherfucker, but it's still a kid's cartoon. You don't really get to see him stab people. Dude just murdered a guy against a fridge, and he's stabbing people in the foot. He's just stabbing McStabbersmith left and right. Like, seeing that, those kinds of instances where like all you had is the sanitized version, and all of a sudden now you get to see what this character has always been hinted at being capable of, and you get to see it in real life in front of you. That Shredder fight at the end of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is so amazingly well choreographed, considering the suits those guys were wearing. They were doing those martial arts, fighting Shredder.
It's fucking sick, dude.
It's
great.
So good. It's such a good fight. And like, you're seeing them pretty much throughout the whole movie being completely badass, and then Shredder's just picking them apart. Like, I just remember being a kid, and my eyes were so wide. My imagination was just on fire. Like, never as much as I could have imagined these characters being in real life, this was so much more than that. It was really just an astounding experience. So being able to experience something like that again for the first time would be super duper cool. Yeah.
I have one more answer. I thought of it while you were talking. And it's interesting too, because like, I grew up on movies. Like, my grandfather had a big projection screen in his basement and a Laserdisc player. And like, I watched a lot of movies that I shouldn't have seen at the time that I did see them. Jaws still scares the fucking shit out of me. I think it's the scariest movie ever made, because I saw it when I was like 4. And I still don't like going to the beach, because I'm like, nah, man, I've seen the documentary Jaws. A fucking shark is going to eat me for sure. So like, I had seen Spectacle and all of those things, like just amazing movies. But, you know, and it's been made fun of, rightly so. But when you go to the movie theaters, certain chain theaters have the fucking Nicole Kidman thing in front of the movie. The sadness feels good in a place like this. What she is talking about, that feeling, for me, is 100% encompassed by seeing Jurassic Park for the first time in the theater.
Oh, fuck. Jurassic Park for the first time. The first time you see the Brachiosaur, he takes off the glasses. Oh my god. Oh my god. You're so right. That's one of the moments.
Oh, it just, that everything she's talking, where you believe in magic and spectacle and miracles and just this larger than life thing. And because
it looked real. Nothing had ever looked that real before.
It still does.
It still looks amazing.
Fucking holds up.
The whole time, I'm Alan Grant. It's a dinosaur.
Yeah,
like that,
it's a dinosaur.
That's me. That's what a good
god.
one.
Like that's my answer. If I could go back and just that fucking tidal wave of emotion that hit me, that was where I liked movies before, like, and I had seen up to that point, I'd seen Star Wars and Indiana Jones and all of that, and Superman and all of that stuff. Like, I had seen movies. Where I fell in love with movies was Jurassic Park.
Good
so
answer.
that would be my answer. That the bass, when you fit the T-Rex step.
Oh, the steps.
And it's just vibrating through your entire soul at that point. And you're just like, oh God, this is going to be the best fucking thing ever. And it is. And it lives up to it. Like,
it does.
Because it's such a
shot
good movie.
in that. There's no shot in that movie that I don't buy. Like,
Yeah.
there is no point where you look at it and be like, man, that CG hasn't aged well. That doesn't exist in that movie.
No, it does not. It's one of those few movies where, like, it is. I don't know that it's the best movie ever made, but it's one of the most perfect movies ever made. It's so fucking brilliant and holds up. Even though we know shit about dinosaurs now that we didn't know that, I don't fucking care. You know what I mean? Like, oh, the raptors should have had feathers. Fuck you. It's incredible. God.
Hard agree.
That's where I fell in love with movies, was at that moment.
I do have one more. I have one more.
What else? What else you got? This is such a good question.
Yeah. All right. So this was, I feel like there's a lot of folks who look down on this one now, and that would be Fight Club.
Oh,
Because
fuck yeah. That movie's great.
I knew nothing going into that movie. In fact, I didn't want to see it. I was dragged to that one. Like, a couple of my friends were like, yeah, let's go see it. And I was like, do I really just want to watch Brad Pitt beat up a bunch of guys? I don't really care. And so we get there and I'm watching it, and it's more clever than I think it is. But I did not see that twist coming at the fuck all.
I didn't either.
When that happened, it was one of the most dumbfounding experiences I've ever had in my life. I was so, wait a minute, that can't be right. And then they go back and they show all those little bits like, oh my God, they thought, oh my God.
Yeah.
To be able to experience that level of surprise again, especially coming off of the fact that I didn't want to be there in the first place. I thought it was just going to be a piece of shit, and it turned out to just blow my fucking mind. I thought that movie was incredible.
Movie. It's a great movie. I had a similar experience with, not like the twist part of it, although there's a Nicole Kidman movie, speaking of Nicole Kidman, called The Others, that has a really, really good fucking twist in it. Like, and I think the twist in that movie is so good that it ruins the movie for subsequent viewings. Whereas, like, Fight Club, I can watch over and over again, and have. I think it's a great fucking movie. But The Others, the twist is so good that, like, once you see it, you're like, all right, I never have to watch this again, but fuck, that was brilliant. I had a similar experience with The Matrix, where I knew nothing about it. I didn't really want to go see it. But that was with the ex who shall not be named. She was like, I don't know, I think it looks really cool. I don't even think I had seen a trailer for it. And I was like, there's a lot of black leather, and, like, I hate the X-Men. I don't even know if it was the same time, but in my mind, the two are conflated with each other. But I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, we'll go to the movies and we'll see it. And I left that movie being like, that was fucking amazing. What a cool fucking movie. Like, that was the most, like, shocked I had been at how much I liked a movie. But yeah, like The Matrix. But yeah, it's Jurassic Park. Fight Club. Yeah. Excellent answer. Here's a really good question. I have an answer to it, I think. Batman seems to be able to do everything in the comics. What are some tasks you think Batman can't do well? Mine would be have a big family dinner, or get advice from his dad. I don't think he could do that well.
I was going to say that's a real dick answer, but if anyone's allowed to make it, it's you.
Yeah, I am. Yep, I am.
Oh, boy.
I actually really hate what happened to Batman for a while in the comics. I do not like Bat-God. I like when Batman is clever, not punching Darkseid. That's not the Batman I like, you know?
Beat Battletoads.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
Beat Batman for NES.
Yeah. I don't think he could do that well.
Especially not with those gloves on.
No,
like, no
certainly
fucking way.
not. Yeah. That was just a way for me to get a dad joke in there. Sorry. Sex with furniture. What do you think? I don't kink shame anyone. If you're not hurting yourself, anyone else, or the furniture, do it up, man.
I mean, the furniture is an inanimate object. If you hurt it, can you hurt furniture? You can't cause furniture pain.
You could break furniture.
But even then, it's your furniture. You bought it.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
You want to drill a hole in a couch, pour some salsa in, and live the dream? I mean, have at it, I guess.
There are a shocking number of people that I think would tell you that they discovered their sexual awakening when they used to sit on the arm of the couch and went, oh, that's doing stuff. Cool. I mean, fuck it. That's what Tiff did. Is that too much information? I think there are a lot more people.
She doesn't listen to the podcast.
No, she definitely doesn't. I did tell the kids when they were like, what's the show about tonight? I was like, oh, it's the SAG Bag, where it's the be careful what you want to know episode, because we'll answer the questions honestly. And then the kids were like, oh, that sounds really cool. I was like, no, I don't think you should listen to this one until you're much older or I'm dead. One of the two. I think whichever one you decide is better, because there's some stuff you might not want to know. All right. What books did you enjoy as a child? What books did your children read/enjoy when younger? What's a children's book you hate? You're closer to this than I am. So why don't you go, Kris, first?
Let's see. I wasn't a huge reader as a kid. I always liked drawing and stuff, but I remember really liking The Giving Tree as a kid. That book really stuck with me. I remember when I was in grade school, I took out from the library a book called The Wonderful Flight to the Mushroom Planet, and I don't remember almost anything about it, but I remember really being into it at the time.
Okay, I've never heard of
that. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe was just the first one. I didn't like any of the other books, but the first one, Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, I really liked that book. So yeah, that's the stuff that got me when I was a kid. But like I said, I wasn't really a huge reader. My kids, let's see. John really, really got into Dogman. Dogman was just like, that was it for him. Like he bought every single one of the books in the series. Dogman and the Bad Guys. He was just really, really into those.
Yeah, okay. I know the Bad Guys. I know that one.
Those are great. They're really good. They're really fun and funny books that like top marks. Good stuff. Ellie, so we've been having some fun with reading with Ellie lately. Karen was reading the Harry Potter books with her. But she's between books with her right now. And I've been kind of going through like we read Chronicles of Narnia, we read we finished Holes not that long ago, then we just finished A Wrinkle in Time last night. Oh, that's
a good book. Holes is really good too.
Holes was really interesting.
I like that book a lot.
Ellie and I were both right. Ellie and I finished A Series of Unfortunate Events. She really liked those.
Oh, those are great too.
Those were a blast. We weren't nuts about A Wrinkle in Time. I remember everyone when I was a kid reading that one. Like that was a popular one when I was a kid, and I never wound up reading it. And so I was excited to read that with her. And like
it's heavy.
We were both pretty into it by the end. but like I felt like the beginning was just kind of a mess. Like it just didn't really. I didn't find it super interesting. So yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting question.
Yeah. Do you have one you hate?
I hate the Biscuit books.
I don't know what those are.
They're these books about this dog. This cute little
right.
dog named Biscuit. Just not a fan. But really, the one I know there's something that I'm forgetting. There's definitely a kid's book that I absolutely despise, and I'm not remembering it right now because it's been so long since I've had to read little kid books that I'm glad I don't have to go back to it. But I can honestly say I'm not a huge fan of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books, because I think Greg Heffley is a piece of shit. They do a pretty solid job in the movies of making him not a piece of shit, but like in the books, he is just the most shallow person you can possibly imagine. Like everything he does is for personal gain, and he always takes advantage of his close friend Rowley with the biggest possible air quotes. He's always taking advantage of him and talking shit about him, and would ditch him in a heartbeat if it meant superficial popularity at school. And they never like teach around that lesson. They never show that to be the wrong thing.
A negative.
It's just always they never show it as a negative. It's just always his goal. Like, no, I've got to be cool. I've got to be popular. I got to get girls, and I'm going to grow up and be rich and famous. And that's it. Like, I deserve these things. And he's just a fucking shit.
So he's an incel douchebag?
Pretty much. And in every one of the books that maybe it gets better later because there's like 50 of those books by now. But the first bunch of those, like the first 7 or 8 of those, I hate that kid. He's just the fucking worst. It's one of the reasons I don't like. It's one of the reasons I don't like A Christmas Story. Everybody loves A Christmas Story. I don't like that movie because Ralphie's a piece of shit. Like, he has all these fantasies about his parents being like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we doubted you. You were right about everything." And like his dream is to have other people be upset because he was right and they were wrong. Like that's what that kid fucking wants. He's such an asshole. I hate that movie.
I have never seen that movie.
Who, you have?
I have never seen A Christmas Story, and at this point, I am old enough to where I refuse to ever watch it.
I don't care for it.
Of all the movies that I have seen, which is a lot, I missed A Christmas Story, and now it is a personal mission to never actually watch it.
I think it's a solid play. In fact, what I think you should do is you should actively seek out the direct-to-video Christmas Story 2 and only watch that.
Just put that on for a loop for 24 hours?
That should be your 24-hour Christmas loop. Is just I've never seen it. I can only imagine it's wretched.
Oh, God.
But
it sounds horrible.
I think you should make it your mission to just exclusively know that one and never have seen the original and just flat-out refuse under any circumstances. This is my Christmas Story, bitch.
Oh, man. All right, so what is a children's book that I hate? Unfortunately, I hate The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I fucking hate that book. Yeah, I hate it. I don't know why. I can't give you a good reason other than like the Christianity behind all of it.
See, I never picked up on it. As a kid, I never picked up on the Christianity. I
can get that. Yeah, I don't like it. I just don't care for it. Those, and like for little kid books, I really, really hate Pete the Cat. I don't know if your kids were Pete the Cat kids.
Briefly.
I hate Pete the Cat. I find them insulting to children's intelligence. Like, I really, really dislike those books.
I feel like they're for like babies, basically. Like, you know, that's how I looked at them. I think when Ellie was in like kindergarten or first grade they were doing Pete the Cat, that she never really got into it because it was below her intelligence level. Like,
yeah, that's what I think it's below most kids' intelligence level. But when we're teaching them at that, because that Pete the Cat is real big in a lot of schools across the country, and in my opinion, I think it is setting the bar too low for our kids. Like
I definitely agree with that.
Our kids.
I don't think that's the book's fault. I think that's
maybe not, but I hate them. When my kids were little, they really liked. We read a lot of the Danny Dragon Breath books. Those are fucking awesome. There's a whole series of them. It's just a really like fun, goofy, like safe, scary kind of thing. There's like some scary stuff, some funny stuff, some weird stuff. There's ninjas, there's vampire hot dogs. There's just like a ton of like really fun, cool stuff. They were really into those. They were really into DC did a series of books of superheroes and their pets.
I remember those. Those were pretty cool.
Those were really cool. They did. I think Flash had a cat that the kids really liked. Those were super fun. There's another series called The Princess in Black that they liked because they were never like into like girly princess stuff, but they liked kick-ass kind of books. Unfortunately, one of their favorite books that we read when they were younger was The Graveyard Book, which is a Neil Gaiman book, which is basically just the Jungle Book, but set in a graveyard. And Neil Gaiman is super problematic now, but it's a fucking phenomenal book.
We know he's super problematic now. I suspect he was super problematic then.
He was bad then too. But man, they really like those. They liked the Lemony Snicket books. Yeah, so they were really into that. Like Danny Dragon Breath was like the highlight though. That was the big one for them. And then for me, like I was a fucking psychopathic reader when I was a kid. And like 3 of my very favorite books of all time I read was when I was a little kid, and I still love them to this day. But like I loved all of the Hardy Boys books. I thought those were fucking awesome. All of the R.L. Stine before they moved to the Goosebumps, but they were doing like The Babysitter and The Beach Vacation and like all of those like scary books that were coming out when I think we were in like 4th or 5th grade. I was super duper into those. But my 3 favorite books from when I was a kid was Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, which we did an audio recording of for the website. You can still go find it on geekade.com. I fucking loved all of those stories. I thought they were so clever and fun and just absolutely adored that book. The art in that book is incredible. It's so dark and twisted while these stories are like really just kind of silly. But I fucking loved them. In 3rd grade, Mr. Douglas read The Indian in the Cupboard to us.
Oh, I remember. I vaguely remember that happened to me in school too, and I remember really liking that one.
I adore that book. My kids really like that one too. And there's some problematic shit in that book viewed through the lens of 2025. But it was just so much that like that kid, Omri, that kid was me. You know, like his toys were real. They had real lives and real stories and all of that. And I just absolutely adored that book. And I still love it to this day.
By Charlotte's Web a lot too.
Yeah, Charlotte's Web is also phenomenal. But my absolute favorite book when I was a kid, and would probably like, it would probably be in my top 5, like still, is The Phantom Toll Booth. That book.
We just read The Phantom Toll Booth. We just read that one. Oh, how did I forget about Roald Dahl stuff? God, Ellie loves Roald Dahl stuff.
Roald Dahl is incredible.
Absolutely obsessed with Matilda.
Matilda's great. The Witches is great. BFG is great.
BFG was great. We haven't read Charlie and the Chocolate Factory yet.
James and the Giant Peach.
James Giant Peach we did. She loved that one. But Matilda, she has such a thing for Matilda. She loved the book.
It's brilliant.
She's obsessed with the Netflix movie, the musical. I don't know if you've seen that. It is really good. And
I have, yeah. It's great.
Yeah, it's really good. I bought her the soundtrack on vinyl for Christmas. That was her first record, and she listens to it all the time.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
Phantom Tollbooth. That was a
Phantom Tollbooth, which is not a Roald Dahl book, but
it's not. But it just reminded me of we did that one after we had done the Roald Dahl stuff. Yeah,
yeah. The artwork is I believe it's the same person that did a lot of the Roald Dahls, the more famous Roald Dahl stuff. Mm-hmm. But that book is so clever and so interesting, and is all about learning. And I just like, I love learning, right? Like, that's such a silly thing to say, but like, I love to learn. I love learning new shit. That book is all about just the power of imagination and learning and why these things are important. And I just thought it was so clever and so brilliant. And I love it to itty bitty pieces, like to the point where as an adult, I bought a hardcover version of that book that I keep on my bookshelf. Like, I got rid of a lot of the books that I had when I switched over to like a Kindle. But then like I later went out and then bought a hardcover of that because I love it so much. Just nice. Absolutely fucking brilliant. Let's see. What else?
All right, let's do one or two more. It's getting late. We've still got some show to do.
Oh my God, we didn't even get into any sexy questions.
My God. I have to mention one more. Kids book. It's probably my favorite kids book ever. It was my favorite that my parents gave me. Karen just reminded me of it because I asked her this question. I was like, what am I forgetting? It's the Bee book.
Oh, yeah.
It's the Berenstain Bears Bee book. Oh my God. Big brown bear, blue bull, beautiful baboon, blowing bubbles, spiking backwards. Like, God, I was obsessed with that book, and I had so much fun. When Ellie was younger, I went in and read it to her class once or twice.
Nice.
And
that's
the
awesome.
Kids fucking adored it because like the teachers had never even heard of that one. It's kind of an obscure Berenstain book.
Yeah.
And like it's so fucking funny. It's fantastic. Love that one. All right, go ahead. Move on to like find a couple of sexy questions. Let's do like 2 or 3 more.
Okay, let me see. What's your favorite genre of porn? We did that one. Oh God, that's a fucked up question that I'm not going to ask. That's wild. Let's see. I'm just trying to find like. I didn't know I was going to be doing this, so I didn't pick questions.
Well, I don't pick them ahead of time either. I just roll through.
I know. What discontinued thing would you bring back?
Wawa Bowlies. Wawa made Stromboli's. They were so fucking good.
Oh, fuck, they did, yeah.
Everyone hated them but me. Like, they're apparently a running gag in Wawa headquarters to this day of how colossal a failure these things were. I fucking loved them. There was a spinach one, there was a ham and cheese one, there was a pizza one, and I would get them every day because my mom worked at Wawa at the time, so I could get a discount on them. I fucking loved those things, and they disappeared, and nothing has ever tasted like them again, and have been sad every day since. Wawa Bowlies, bring them back. It's never going to happen. They were giving away free samples. They're like, please try these.
Somebody fucking eat these.
I promise they're not terrible. And nobody wanted these things. Nobody. But I wanted all of them. They were so good. God damn.
That's fucking great. I have 2. I would bring back PB Crisps. Do you remember those?
I do.
I fucking love those. A little peanut butter cream inside the peanut shell. Those things were fucking dope as fuck. Love them so much. But also for, I think it was the 50th anniversary of Elvis's passing, Reese's put out Elvis peanut butter cups, and the big size cups weren't great because they had like a peanut butter and a banana cream in the chocolate thing. But the mini cups were half of a chocolate cup and then half of a banana. Like the bottom half was like banana candy, and the top half was chocolate, the like regular Reese's cup chocolate, and then inside was the regular peanut butter. And I dream about these fucking peanut butter cups. I would do dirty, dirty things to dirty, dirty people to be able to have them again. They were so fucking good.
I got to throw out a couple more things.
Wow,
Keebler's
this is
Pizzerias.
such a long list. Yeah,
Keebler's Pizzerias, those like pizza flavored chips. I don't know. They were so goddamn good. They were so goddamn good. I loved eating those things. This is it's probably a good thing that this was discontinued, but I would love to see Nintendo cereal again.
Oh yeah, that was great.
I fucking love
Mr. T cereal. That shit was dope.
I don't think I ever had the Mr. T cereal, but I ate Nintendo cereal like it was going out of style because it fucking was. That stuff was so sweet. It was so good. But outside of the realm of candy and candy/food in particular, I would love to see them bring back the Nintendo Power Game calendars. I take pictures of these every month for the Stone Age Gamer social media accounts and whatnot. These calendars were so amazing because they're just these weird, slightly off-brand interpretations of 8-bit NES sprites. There's absolutely still a market for this kind of thing. Like, imagining what they could do with these calendars if they kept getting better instead of kept getting worse, which is what they did. I think they're such a cool idea. I would love to see those brought back. That would make me very happy. And CRT televisions.
All right. I don't know why I went immediately to food. I guess because I'm a fat ass. I can't think of anything else.
The first thing I thought of was Wawa Bowls.
Yeah. Is there anything else that was discontinued that I wish? Yeah. Fucking, and this is, oh God. I mean, they still have some of them that were recent with like Street Fighter characters and whatever. This is maybe a weird answer, and Stranger Things kind of gets it right, but I wish we would bring back movies that put children in danger. I think we would be better off as a society if we did that more often. There's one question here at the end. So do you want to go with one like difficult question at the end? Or like
sure,
an introspect. Okay, so
let's go with that, and then I have a stupid question that we can ask. So we'll do a difficult question, and then there was one stupid question in the Discord that I think demands our attention.
Okay, I find this question interesting, and I'm curious as to where you're going to go with this. Do people who suffer hardship value life more than those who haven't had to suffer hardship? Or is it that both parties value it the same, but have a different perspective?
I would personally think that those who have suffered hardship would appreciate it, are capable of appreciating it more. Because I don't think you can make a blanket statement that one does more than the other because everybody's different, you know. But there's also very clear instances of this, let's say, filthiest, richest of us that don't seem to derive any joy from life that doesn't involve getting more money or taking from people. Whereas if you haven't had something, like if you've always wanted something and have never been able to have it, there's an inherent appreciation for it because you had to earn it. If you need to put the work in to get something, you're going to appreciate it more than if it was just handed to you. So I would say, generally speaking, those who have been through hardship, if you lost your parents, you're going to appreciate the notion of parents possibly more than people that still have them. But that's not always true, because if you've got really good parents, that they're there for you, then you're going to appreciate them extraordinarily. So it's really difficult to say. It's a difficult question to answer, but I think in general, point A, if you've experienced hardship, you're going to appreciate life more.
And I think I agree with that up to a point. My job over the last 20 years has brought me into contact with people who are living in just the most unbelievable poverty that you can imagine. Like we're talking like just imagine third world country type situations, inner city in this country, at drugs, families broken, just the worst that you can possibly imagine. And I think it eventually gets to a point where you're so beaten down, you've suffered so much hardship and you're so traumatized by it and have never gotten the help that you need, that you therefore cannot appreciate the good things any longer. Because I've seen that, you know what I mean? I've seen people get so far down that rabbit hole that that joy just doesn't exist any longer. But I know, like, for me, like what you were saying, like with parents, especially, like my dad committed suicide when I was 13. And I do not have a relationship with my mother any longer. I value the relationships and life more, I think, because of those things. The hardship that I've had to go through, right? Like fighting cancer over these last couple of months and realistically coming to the point of like, if I had not gotten treatment, I'd be dead right now. And that, like, that's not a question. Like, that is probably where we would be. Like, if I wasn't dead yet, I'd be real close. You know, so I think that there's a certain level of hardship that you can experience where you do then appreciate the life more. You can't have sweet without sour, right? I do think that both parties have a different perspective on things, but at the risk of sounding perhaps somewhat controversial, I think the mistake that we've made over the last 20 or so years is valuing or pretending to value everyone's perspective the same and saying that each perspective counts the same.
That's not controversial to me.
You know what I mean? Like, I think we've made a huge mistake that has led us down such a dark timeline that where we currently exist politically, socially, economically, educationally, all of these things, because we've allowed every perspective to be like, well, hey man, like, that's your opinion and we'll agree to disagree. Like, no, fucker. You know, there's the one cartoon. I think we've said this before on the show.
We have. I know exactly where you're going with the
the 6 or a 9.
It's a 9.
Yeah. No, it's one of the two. Like, you don't get to say like, oh, we just agree to disagree. Somebody fucking drew a 6 or somebody drew a 9. Not every perspective is fucking right. It's just not, you know? And so I think that's part of this question too. Like, I do think both parties have a value on it, but that difference of perspective doesn't mean they're equal. And I think that's an important distinction too.
Well said.
So anyway, there we go. That's kind of a bummer. That was a bummer to end it on. What else you got?
Well, good job, Trash Man, for your giant
there's
list
so much here. I am going to go through and pick out questions. Actually, you know what? I think I will have Tiff pick questions from this list.
Well, that's a good one.
As well, because I'm kind of interested what she would want to know.
Me too.
Anyway, yeah.
Anyway, so for our final question, the amazing Chris Godby says, what bread is the worst bread?
Oh, fuck, rye bread. Without
How dare
question.
you?
Rye bread is
bread's
fucking
delicious.
gross.
Fucking
Ugh.
love me some rye bread.
Jesus Christ. Rye bread is fucking nasty.
Fucking St. Patrick's Day coming up. I'm going to be making some corned beef on rye sandwiches all week long. You better believe it.
We had corned beef for dinner tonight, and it was outstanding because there was no fucking rye bread anywhere near it.
Oh, I love rye bread. I love me a good rye bread.
It disgusts me. I hate it so much.
So good. Man, what bread is the worst bread?
Rye bread with Swiss cheese on it? Like, fucking miss me with that bullshit. Get fucked.
Man, you're threatening me with a good time over here.
Oh, God, no.
Corned beef and Swiss on rye.
Oh, God, why would you do that to your corned beef?
Seedy mustard? Abso-fucking-lutely. Oh,
ugh.
Goddamn masterpiece
Nasty.
right there.
Nasty.
Man, is there a bread that I don't like? I can't think of a bread that I don't like.
There's got to be one.
Like, there's definitely, like, something that's extraordinarily dry. Something that you look at that you think, oh, there's no way that's not going to be delicious. I think that the thing I'm thinking of is more in a pastry department than an actual bread.
Like a soda bread, maybe? Soda bread's pretty dry.
Yeah, but soda bread's great.
I think soda bread's great.
God damn. I'm totally getting some soda bread at the store this weekend. Fucking
yeah,
A.
like Irish soda bread? I'm 100% in. Fucking rye bread?
Get some Irish butter to put on that? Fuck
oh, yeah.
me,
That's good stuff.
I could be real hungry. I can't think of any breads I don't like, so I'm going to say moldy raisin bread.
Some people like really hate raisin bread. I know that.
I don't hate raisin bread. I like raisin bread okay, especially when it's got that thick frosting on top.
Yeah. I love raisin bread. I know people like
forever.
All right, I have one more. One last one, and it kind of combines two of them. At least for me, because it's what's on your bucket list. And if you were traveling for a month and money was no object, where would you go and what would you do? My answer to those two is the same. I would go to Japan. And I would do all of the typical touristy Japanese Japan things, right, that you do. But the bucket list part of that would be to go to see a live sumo match.
Oh, okay.
I fucking love sumo wrestling. Every now and again, it's on like the Ocho or whatever bullshit as you're like flipping through on TV. And like, I will fucking watch sumo wrestling all day. The tradition, the fucking, all of it, the whole thing. And I bucket list a live sumo match is something that I have to do. But you don't do a lot of traveling, and you don't really.
I don't.
It's not something that you've really talked about a lot. I'm curious, like traveling for a month, money's no object. Maybe it's a bucket list thing for you. Maybe it's not. Where would you go, and what are you doing?
I would also go to Japan. I would very much like to go to Japan, and I would like to see the original Nintendo building. I'd like to stay in that hotel. I'd like to go to the Nintendo Museum. And really just learn as much as I can about like immerse myself in actual Japanese video game culture for a month and just be there and be somewhere where there's functioning public transportation, and just really experience a culture that is not American culture. And also just learn as much as I can about Nintendo's history in person. You know, I want to walk through those archways that inspired Star Fox, you know?
Yeah.
I'd love to just, you know, see whatever, if the Yamauchi house is still standing, which I think it is. I'd like to see that. Just really anything that I can. That's my bucket list thing. I would love to go to Japan.
All right.
I wouldn't mind seeing a sumo match. I'm not.
I think
I'm not going to
so
say
fucking
no
cool.
to that.
All right, so Ryan should. What I'm hearing is that Ryan should definitely send both of us to Japan.
Yeah, all expenses paid trip to Japan.
100%. Yes.
Learn about Nintendo history and watch sumo wrestling.
Yes. All right, last one, because I just want to know the answer. Two chicks at one time? Question mark. I don't know if this is
I don't know that I'd know what to do with myself.
So that's what I was saying. I don't know if this is a have you or would you want to?
Definitely haven't.
Okay. Would you want to?
I can't imagine there being two girls that would want to.
That's not the question, though. That's not what we're asking.
I'm not completely closed off to the idea, but it's not immediately enticing to me.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. A few times.
The more the merrier.
A few times. I've gotten a lot of trouble in hot tubs. Yeah. And college and stuff. Yes. It's messier than it's more work than you want it to be. Sometimes
I feel pretty focused when I'm in that situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Just paying attention to what's in front of me. I'm not really thinking about what's going on anywhere else. And if there's another person in the room, I'm busy.
It's not awesome. It's awesome. It's great. But it is more work than you want it to be.
I feel like I'm already working pretty hard. So yeah.
It's a good time though. All right, that's it. I'm done.
Yeah. Not saying no, but also I'm not seeking it out.
I was really hoping
anyway.
I just really wanted your answer to be yes. I just wanted to be surprised by that of oh God, yeah. A few times. I didn't think that was going to be the answer, but I really was hoping it was. That would have been awesome.
Not
me. That would have been so...
Have never been, will never be that cool.
Oh, it's not even a cool thing. God,
I feel like somebody's got to think you're cool if you're winding up in that situation. And that's somebody being at least two girls.
That's fair. Or you have to have access to a hot tub. That really helps.
Or a massive horn.
Yeah, one of the two. No, I don't know if you know a lot of swingers or polyamorous couples. I know a fair few. Okay. I know a fair few and not the coolest people I've ever met. Some of them pretty big nerds of really? You guys? Awesome. Live the dream. That's great for you. Not for me. But knock yourselves out. But not as cool as you would think.
Yeah, but cool is relative. I'm sure the people who are involved with the activities probably think there's something of those people, unless they're getting involved in just group hate fucking. I don't know.
That might be. Okay. So I guess that comes back to the perspective question. So yeah, maybe they're not cool though. I am here as the arbiter of all things cool to tell you that some of the people that I know, objectively, not very cool.
Fair enough. Good.
But still slinging it around town. So anyway, that's our SAG bag for this time. We can do this literally. Looking at this document that I had not looked at until today, we could do this every week for the next 6 years based just on Trash Man's questions. And I love that. I love that all of these are here. And we will get to, this is my promise to you, the listeners. We will get to every fucking one of these by eventually. That's right.
Before the heat death of the universe, we intend to get through all of these.
Every single fucking one. And the rest of you, keep them coming. What else do you want to know? What else you got?
I love questions.
I do too. Plus, this is so much less work for us. And by us, I mean Chris.
Time for us to take our first break. When we come back, we're going to talk about what's new at Stone Age Gamer and tackle week-old news. You're listening to the Stone Age Gamer podcast from Geekade.com. Stick around. And now here's a quick look at what's new from us and our partners at Geekade.com.
First up, cops. Man, I probably should have read this first. I don't know where we're going with this one, but they are the law. Oh, okay. Or at least that's what Judge Dredd has led me to believe. Anyway, what about people who used to be cops? What about people who are pretending to have previously been cops? What if those people were musicians? What if those people were members of GWAR? Well, then, you'd have yourself the satirical... All right, now I know where we're going, and I'm excited. You'd have yourself the satirical 90s band, X-Cops. Matt made Chris listen to the musical stylings of these bona fide... Yes, bona fide. In the way that they say it in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? He's bona fide. Nutcases. And the results were... Well, you'll just have to tune in to find out. Don't miss Turning Tracks, episode 29, X-Cops. There's a song about cavity searches. Because of course there is. I fucking love X-Cops. I'm really interested to know what you thought of X-Cops.
I fucking loved that episode.
Oh,
that
was so good.
We just recorded last night. That cavity search song had me in fucking tears. That shit was hysterical.
Oh my god, GWAR is so underrated and so brilliant. There's one song, my cousin and I used to listen to GWAR when we were like 10 and 11. And there's one GWAR song. I don't remember what song it is, but like in the middle of the song, there's a breakdown and then everything stops. And I think it's Odorous goes, "Where do you hide money from a hippie? Under the sofa!" And then they just go right back into the song. I was like, it's fucking brilliant. So funny.
Next, you know what it's like to be an earthworm and have a spacesuit land on your head, granting you superpowers and the ability to speak? Sure you do. Anyway, there was a video game about this very topic back in the 90s, and it just so happened to have some very good music that was not written by Thomas the Tallarico Engine. So for Matt's pick on Waveback this month, he went with Earthworm James. How does this weird game's music stack up after all these years? Find out in Waveback episode 183, Earthworm Jim.
I don't know that I've ever heard anybody say Earthworm James, and that is the mature sequel that I didn't know I needed. Just very beige. He's fucking just grungy all the time.
It's just God of War. Sorry,
yeah,
it's Gears of War, actually. It's Gears of War.
Yeah, he's got an eye patch, like Phoenix or whatever the fuck that guy's name is.
He's got some tribal tattoos, you know.
Oh, Earthworm James just lousy with tribal tattoos.
He's got a mustache.
Where?
No, on his worm face.
No, he doesn't have enough room for it, is all I'm saying. It'd be like a Hitler mustache or a really big oversized mustache. Both of those are hilarious.
Absolutely. Two, probably. Let's just go all in with the facial hair. That's how you know that they've been through some shit.
It's just perpetually 5 o'clock stubble Earthworm James. Oh man, that's funny. Finally, Chris, Micro Machines. Oh, they're tiny toy cars that we all used to play with when we were younger, because how could we not? They were cars, but smaller. They even had this dude who talked really fast on the TV commercials. Well, there was there were a whole heckin' bunch of Micro Machines video games too, because merchandising. Spaceballs the Flamethrower. 2 of those games landed on the Super NES, and Greg and Joe have decided to talk about them. Find out what they're all about in the SNES podcast episode 252, the Micro Machines games. And if I were funny, I would have read that fast.
I was curious if you were going to even attempt it.
I mean,
I feel like that's the kind of thing that takes some practice.
Let's see. Finally, Micro Machines. They're tiny toy cars that we all used to play with when we were younger, because how could we not? They were cars, but smaller. They even had this dude who talked really fast on the TV commercials, while there were a whole bunch of Micro Machines video games, too, because merchandising. 2 of those games, landed on the Super NES, and Greg and Joe decided to talk about them. Find out what they're all about in the SNES podcast, episode 252, the Micro Machines games.
I think the problem is that she didn't say it with that kind of vaudevillian voice, you know? I feel like that guy had a very... They're tiny toy cars that we all used to play with when we were younger, because how could we not? They were cars. That's
right. I'm not an asshole, so I can't.
Well, I'm a gigantic asshole, and for all this and more from us and our partners, be sure to keep your eyes on DK.com.
All
right, everybody, we are back.
Down my throat. Hold on. Just go. You don't need me.
Yeah, I'm good. He's gonna drink some Earthworm James brew. What's new at Stone Age Gamer this week? We had a couple of new things at Stone Age Gamer. We had some, I think the Japanese version of Vengeance Hunters. We put up a couple of those up on the site. The big ones that jumped out at me were the Hyperboy Plus 32 megabit flash cart, which is where I learned there's a difference between megabits and megabytes. This is a fancy new flavor of the Hyperboy Plus, which is a flash cart for the Virtual Boy that has that like LCD screen on it that changes with whatever game you're programmed in it or something. Super neat looking. That's super cool. And then we also finally put up the D6 Dreamcast wireless controllers. We've been taking pre-orders on those for a little while, and now they are readily available, and they look super cool. I haven't gotten a chance to put my hands on any of them yet, but I'm looking forward to doing that soon. And as a reminder, just for our podcast listeners, we're giving out a special coupon code for our site. Yay! The coupon code is RUSH, as in Mega Man's dog, RUSH. All caps, RUSH. This will get you $5 off orders of $30 or more. This coupon code is valid until March 31st, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. Limit 1 use per customer. The $30 threshold is based on order subtitle. Does not include shipping and taxes. It cannot be combined with other coupon codes, and it does not apply to pre-ordered items. Once again, that coupon is RUSH. Good. I shouldn't say that fast. Once again, the coupon code is RUSH for $5 off orders of $30 or more. Enjoy, you super fighting robots. And with that, it's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everyone's favorite segment. Strap yourselves in for Week Old News. Welcome to Week Old News, where we talk about all the news that was new a week ago. First up, we have, from Nintendo Life, a headline that I did not know for certain, but does not surprise me in the least. Nintendo and Pokemon Company had an adversarial relationship, say former NOA staffers.
I mean, that's not surprising at all.
No, that doesn't surprise me in the least, and something tells me that this is only the tip of the iceberg. This comes from those Kit and Krista fellas that used to work for Nintendo, and they've now, they're not with the company anymore, and they've had a lot of things to say about Nintendo since they left. This is really talking about, like, specifically Pokemon US versus NOA. Like, NOA and NOE apparently have, like, a rivalry because they're always trying to get, because NCL is like, that's Nintendo. And then NOA and NOE are just like, please, sir, give us stuff, Like, they're always fighting for
we're here
attention.
Too!
We are here, too. We're really big markets, we promise. But, yeah, I feel like I cannot shake the feeling that Nintendo would be, if they had more control of the Pokemon brand, it would be very different than it is right now. Because Nintendo doesn't usually release games that run like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah,
that's
for
not
them,
usually
that is
their
that's
MO.
Anathema for them, right? Like, it's a fucking broken game. Like, full stop. That game is not done.
Yeah,
or wasn't done anyway.
Pretty not great in that it's just so buggy, and just the how often they crank out Pokemon projects and stuff. Like, Nintendo is typically, not always, but typically a quality over quantity company, and Pokemon is very much in the opposite direction. They're just like, no, money, 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 money. Every year there's got to be something, money, money, money. Keep them coming, and. Yeah, I guess it's worked out for them pretty well so far, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's not really hurting them.
No.
By any stretch.
I feel like it may, like now that we're in this modern generation and you can't get away with making games that look like Game Boy Advance games anymore.
I don't know, though.
Because, again, Scarlet and Violet sold a bajillion copies, so maybe it's not going to hurt them, but maybe it is hurting their reputation. We can only tell... We're not going to know this until we see more long-term effects. But, who knows? Either way, I thought that was interesting.
It is, yeah. I could see Pokemon being a very, very different thing under the stewardship of Nintendo proper, and not just Game Freak. But also, why the fuck would Game Freak ever agree to any of that?
Right, exactly. If Nintendo hadn't gotten in on... I mean, if Nintendo hadn't been a part of it from the get-go, Pokemon would be on every platform everywhere. Like...
Right.
That's...
And it's one of those ones that really does feel like it should be. You know, I will grant Nintendo a lot of leeway in the exclusives thing. But that really does feel like it should be everywhere.
Well, it wouldn't exist if it weren't for Nintendo. Like that's their thing. They were a part of its creation. It would not exist without them. So
that's fair.
But yeah, would be neat if it was everywhere. But it is a feather in Nintendo's cap, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Moving right along, this is a fascinating story to me personally. Time Extension reports ex-acclaimed dev gives closer look at the canceled SNES title Mortal Kombat Nitro. I did not know this was ever planned to be a thing, and this is super wild. Are you familiar with Mortal Kombat Nitro?
No, I know nothing about this.
Okay. I'll just read this right from the article here. A former acclaimed developer recently partnered with the new Mortal Kombat YouTuber TabMonk99 to give fans their most in-depth look yet at the cancelled Super NES update Mortal Kombat Nitro. Mortal Kombat Nitro, in case you've never heard of it, is a version of the game that was being worked on at Sculptured Software following the disappointing response to the Super Nintendo Mortal Kombat port, and was intended to be a less sanitized take on the classic fighter. The goal of the game was to be way more gory alternative to the Super NES port, which was famously replaced the fighter's blood with sweat, and to throw in a bunch of additional improvements and bonus features. This includes the ability to play as new characters Goro, Shang Tsung, Reptile, and Kung Lao, the option to choose between multiple costumes and fatalities, and the possibility to unlock both good and bad endings depending on how you played. It never ended up coming out, however, with Midway apparently pushing back against the release as it was getting ready to release Mortal Kombat 2 in the arcades. So this thing has been kind of floating around as I guess more or less a rumor for a long time, and now we have actual footage of it. Like, they went to this dude's... I watched the video. They went to this dude's house, and, like, he had the board that he plugged into the Super Nintendo, and it's barely functional, but, like, it's... the Super Nintendo Mortal Kombat game with blood. Apparently there's the ability to throw fatalities at any time during a match.
Oh, shit.
Which is freaking wild.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Like, yeah, it is... It's super broken because it's very, very not finished. But, like...
Sure.
So, like, they bloodified the sanitized fatalities. Like Johnny Cage's fatality in the Super Nintendo game is he would just, like, hold his foot up to your chest, basically, and then you'd die.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, I'm watching it right now, and, like, it goes to that finishing move, and, like, he puts his foot into Sonya, and then a bunch of bones fly out of her back and blood everywhere. It's like...
That's awesome.
Well, that's officially even cooler than just punching off the head. Like, way to go. And, like, I felt similarly about, like, the Super Nintendo game had the first instance of the Sub-Zero freezing and shattering you fatality, which I always thought was
great.
I think that's a great fatality. Like, it's not the spine rip, but it makes so much more sense for that character, and it's such a great idea. And then they, of course, integrated that into Mortal Kombat 2 with proper, blood and bones flying everywhere. But I want to see them do that one in this, because I'm pretty sure they do. It's so fun watching this thing because, like, it's super buggy where, like, you can trip. If you throw somebody, they won't land on the ground. They'll land, like, 2 feet in the air. And then they can't do anything because they're just hovering in midair because they can't touch the ground. It's so freaking awesome. Broken. I love it. All right, so it looks like they're getting ready to do the fatality against Raiden, and I didn't see this earlier. So I want to see how this plays out. Now he lost. Oh, damn. Oh, because he was playing as Raiden, not Sub-Zero. All right, well, I messed it up. But anyways, this is fascinating. I can't believe that we're going to do this, and I can't believe they said no. Like, yeah. Why? Okay, cool. You're releasing Mortal Kombat 2 in arcades, but did you really think people weren't going to buy more Mortal Kombat, especially if you put like a super bloody version on Super Nintendo? Like, yeah, like that would have been the thing. That would have been freaking huge. I can't believe they didn't do that. That's so crazy to me. What a weird missed opportunity. I wonder how close it ever got to, like, the Genesis overtaking and keeping the lead on the Super Nintendo because of Mortal Kombat. I wonder how much of a factor that actually was back in the day, because, like, we look at it now of like, how could it not have been? It was huge. Like, it was Mortal Kombat, and it was blood on the one version, and the Nintendo version was, like, for babies, I don't know. Just an interesting... Yeah, it's, the Super Nintendo one didn't sell poorly, because it was still Mortal Kombat. But yeah, the Genesis one, I do think that moved the needle considerably. But again... Like, is that really where the perception of Nintendo being for kids came from? I think that was one of the earliest... that was probably the most public display of Nintendo... sanitizing something and making sure, because they always had that sort of, I guess Nintendo themselves had that sort of kiddie view to them because of your Mario but they had Zelda and Metroid too, but they were always a family friendly kind of thing. But they had the best version of Street Fighter. They were the first one to have that one. Oh, granted, for sure, blood and guts, but like that was Street Fighter at home. But then, Blood and Guts, they didn't do Mortal Kombat. They did the whole thing where Night Trap will never be on a Nintendo console. So yeah, it was around this time when that was happening. Yeah, and then they pushed back almost immediately because Mortal Kombat 2 on Super Nintendo was, at least to my eyes, vastly superior to the Genesis version. Oh, and I think so too. All the blood and guts from the arcade in it. So yeah. Anyway, shuffling right along here, Polygon reports a new Katamari Damacy is launching next month exclusive to Apple Arcade. I'm into it. I pay for it. So, yay. I mean, if it's good, I'm really just here for the music, for being honest. It sounds pretty interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, first off, I don't pay for Apple Arcade, and I don't want to hook up a controller in my Apple TV and play things anymore. I did that once for that Castlevania game, and it sucked. Katamari Damacy Rolling Live follows series protagonist the Prince of All Cosmos as he once again rolls up tons and tons of Earth junk for turning into stars. This time around, however, the Prince's mission is all about boosting viewer numbers for his father's live stream. First off, you're not I am watching... Yeah, this is great. Cosmos live stream. Yes, absolutely. It sounds completely insane, and I hope it comes to consoles. Yeah, I'm into that. There was, I forget who posted it in our Discord, but there was a deal on a case and the Backbone controller, and that's a good way to play. Like, it really honestly is. It is part of my my EDC, my everyday carry. I bring my phone
or an old iPhone and my Backbone with me everywhere that I go. It's in my bag all the time, because if I ever find myself in the position where I have a little bit more time, I will pull that out, especially once they put the emulators officially on the App Store. That it's a really, really great way to play a lot of games. It's a really nice screen. It's fast. Like, it handles a lot of shit. It's a really good way to do it. So I'm in. I'll let you know how it is.
Please do. All right, next up, Nintendo Life reports Ori dev goes fully independent following private division sale. Moon Studios, a developer behind the Ori series and the upcoming action RPG No Rest for the Wicked, has announced that it is now fully independent after purchasing the publishing rights to its next game from the recently sold private division.
Yeah, that's awesome. More people should be independent. We need more independent developers that can't get fucking laid off by stupid assholes in suits.
Hard agree.
Yeah, fully support them.
Moving on. Oh boy, this story. So Time Extension reports Super Sega boss is now trying to block people getting refunds.
Yeah,
so
this
Alejandro Martin guy is now contesting chargebacks for pre-orders. And really, the first question in my mind, who the fuck pre-ordered this thing? Who saw this from the get-go and said, absolutely, this is trustworthy enough to give money to?
Yeah.
No!
I mean,
this was such an obvious scam from the get-go. Apparently it's being refocused to be little more than a glorified mister. This is the dude who had to sell his car and shit like that to try and give people some of their money back for just the complete shit show that this was. I feel like this is it can't be real. Like, this is all part of some elaborate movie plot or something that's being filmed. It's just so weird to me.
It does sound that way. It's fucking weird, but people pre-ordered the fucking Intellivision Amico. Yeah, and that was obviously bullshit at the beginning, too.
It wasn't obviously a scam, though. It was obviously a bad idea, but it seemed like, yeah, no, we have a plan and we're going to make something. Okay.
I don't know. I thought we kind of called it out as a scam pretty fucking early on.
Yeah, I don't know that we called it out as a full-on scam. I did believe that the intent at the time was to make something, and just that clearly didn't happen.
Yeah, I don't know, man. People pre-order whatever.
At least then they owned the name Intellivision.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Tommy did buy the Intellivision brand. These guys were just like, fuck it, we'll call our thing Sega. Do something. And then they did.
Oh, you did? Oh, shit. We didn't think you would.
This is bad. I really thought you'd let us get away with this.
Yeah.
Whoopsie.
Fuck. Yeah. Coming soon to StoneAgeGamer.com, by the way, we are releasing a new Nintendo. Just so, you guys might want to pre-order that. We're just calling it the Nintendo.
Nobody's going to have any problem with that. Time Extension reports...
It'll play ColecoVision games, but it'll be called a Nintendo, like your parents used to.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Anyways, yes, 30 years later, Konami has repeated the same mistake with its Suikoden remasters. Apparently, they once again, in the original releases, they didn't credit the localization team by name, and they've done the same thing here. They were handled by according to Dramata at Blue Sky. Looks like the translation and LQA were handled by completely uncredited and likely perma-NDA bound freelancers at Deco and Keywords.
So they're keeping with tradition. What is the problem with that?
I think people should get credited for their work. It's not like
putting their
name
fucking
in
around. Yeah.
Really, putting their name in the credits. Friggin' Nintendo did this too with the Metroid Prime Remastered. Like, really, you're not going to put the original team in the fucking credits? Like,
yeah, you probably should.
It's not that far out of your way. It's text on black. Come on. I don't know a ton about game programming, but I feel like throwing some extra credits in the credits in there is not the most difficult thing in the world to do.
No, I feel like that might take me an afternoon. Be like, all right, I know how to do that now. Cool.
Moving on. Go Nintendo reports, Vampire Survivors dev says the next free update is probably the biggest they've ever done.
What a bunch of fucking maniacs.
What a bunch of assholes.
Yeah. In the best possible way. What else could it be?
And it's a free update this time.
What else can they do?
I don't know, but I'm excited.
Best value. Best deal in gaming.
Yeah, that game's a masterpiece.
Again, I've purchased that game 3 or 4 times, and I don't know that I've spent enough on it yet. Because if I bought it 4 times, that's $20.
Yeah,
like, I don't think that's enough.
Still gotten, definitely gotten your money's worth. By far.
Yeah, I don't think that's enough.
All right, IGN reports Microsoft will soon integrate its Copilot AI into the Xbox app and eventually into your Xbox games. The fuck it will. I won't have any Xbox games.
What could possibly go wrong with that?
I hate AI.
I mean, again, there are good reasons to do that, I think, right? Because that's not if it's not making the game, but it's doing something beneficial, cool. Like, we're not going to buy AI generated games. Like, that's not a thing that I think is going to go over well if they attempt to go down that road.
They will.
I mean, yes, they're going to, but I don't think that's going to go over well on any platform. Even a little bit. But if there's a way to integrate it in there for what AI should be used for, if like it's benefiting the system or the game running in some certain kind of way, like, okay, cool. But fuck, like, it's just so hard to trust anybody, you know? That, I think, is like the scarier part to me of like, okay, you say you're going to do this, but what does that actually mean? Because you guys are not paragons of fucking virtue. You're Microsoft. You're a terrible fucking company. Like, I know we all like to pretend that Bill Gates is kind of like a good dude, but like, no, he's really not. So he built a couple wells. Ooh. Like, did you fix homelessness? Because you could.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
All right, last story is one that is weird and fascinating. IGN reports, speedrunners left scratching their heads after new discovery suggests the Super NES works faster as it ages.
I saw that. That's so weird.
It's like it's getting really faster. Small. It's like imperceptible to most normal people.
Sure.
But speedrunners who measure things by like, the millisecond,
who are not normal people.
Yes, they've noticed that this is a thing that's happening, and nobody can really nail down exactly what's causing it. I don't think.
Which is more interesting.
Weird
I think
it is. It's super weird.
Yeah, it's really, really weird. It's
and kind
really
of exciting.
Odd, like, yeah, that it's getting better as it ages. That's very strange. It's very, very strange. But kind of cool. I'm very disappointed that we're not now going to do a deep dive on the 11-minute trailer for Death Stranding 2, by the way.
I mean, you're welcome to after I go to bed. You want to close out the show on that? That's fine.
I think I understand less about the first game after watching the trailer for the second one. And I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Well, with that, that's going to wrap up Week Old News, and it's going to wrap up this second segment on the show. So we're going to take ourselves another quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about what we've been up to and what games we've been playing. You're listening to the Stone Age Gamer podcast from Geekade.com. Stick around.
We are Safe at Home, the leading dog rescue in the heart of New Jersey. Are you searching for a loyal companion, a dog that will bring love and joy to your home? Look no further than Safe at Home. At Safe at Home, we believe in giving every dog a second chance. We rescue, rehabilitate, and find loving forever homes for dogs in need, right here in the Garden State. Our dogs are ready to make a lasting impact on your life. Each one has a unique story, a wagging tail, and an incredible capacity for love. When you adopt from Safe at Home, you're not just gaining a pet, you're becoming a part of our family. Our dedicated team ensures a seamless adoption process, providing ongoing support and guidance. With New Jersey's beautiful parks, beaches, and trails, you and your new furry friend will have endless opportunities for adventures and cherished memories. Safe at Home relies on the support of compassionate individuals like you. Your donations and volunteer work enable us to continue saving lives and finding forever homes for these amazing dogs. Join us in creating a safer, happier community for dogs in New Jersey. Together we can make a difference and give every dog the chance to feel safe at home. Visit our website or call us now to learn about how you can be a part of the Safe at Home mission. Safe at Home, because every dog deserves to be loved and protected. www.safeathomerescue.org.
Hey, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Andy. Neither of us are David Crane, but we are the hosts of David Crane's Amazing Movie Time.
That's our monthly Geekade Patreon exclusive podcast that covers movies that are cult classics, weird, or just sometimes laughably bad.
We ourselves have at least two of those qualities, so I guess it makes sense to hear what we think of those movies in retrospect.
You can hear all that and more by becoming a Geekade Patreon supporter.
And, as always, be kind, rewind.
No way! Hey guys, Vestlord Dean DeFalco here, and if you like when I get on the mic here, good news. I'm in other places too. The Vestlord is on YouTube, the Vestlord is on Twitch, the Vestlord is on Substack. He's everywhere you want him to be, he's everywhere you need him to be. Find all the links in the show notes, but for those who can't wait and need a taste this instant, head over to Substack, vestlord.substack.com. Check out what I'm writing over there. New articles every week, and my writing will always remain free. Till next week, muchachos y muchachas, deuces.
Do you enjoy the Stone Age Gamer podcast and other shows on the Geekade Podcast Network? Do you wish you could listen to them sooner than the regular unwashed masses? Do you wish you could contribute in some way? Well, then you should check out the Geekade Patreon. Yes, the Geekade Patreon is a wonderful and very much appreciated way for you to help us pay the bills and keep our shows running week after week. As a Geekade patron, you'll get a monthly podcast topic schedule and early access to nearly every show on the Geekade Podcast Network, as well as access to a patron-exclusive monthly show called DC's Amazing Movie Time from the creators of the Weekend Rental podcast. So head on over to patreon.com/Geekade and become a loved and appreciated member of the Geekade Patreon team and get early access to shows like the Stone Age Gamer podcast, this week's episode, Turning Tracks, and a whole lot more. See you there. All right, everybody. We're back. What were we calling this again?
I don't think we've come up with a good name yet. Evan had one. We had a couple. We threw a couple things out there last week. I don't know. How much money do the patrons want to pay to name this segment? That's got to be something we could do, right? Pay us enough money and you can name this. I don't know. The week that was. I feel like that's a thing somewhere, though.
The
That's close. That's too close to week-old news.
The rundown.
I don't know. I think we're still
the weekend
still getting
rundown.
there.
I don't know.
The random bullshit go.
Yeah, sure. The
RBG.
Magneto.
There you go. It's time for the RBG. That's fun.
Cerebro.
And if you know, you know. You know? Random bullshit.
RBG.
Anyway.
It's like RGB, but
yeah,
not.
Close enough.
So how you doing? How you doing, Dan? What's new and exciting in the world of Dan?
So I have facial hair again. Which is really exciting.
Paid off.
Yeah. My eyebrows are coming in pretty good. My facial hair still feels like head hair though. It doesn't feel like beard hair. It's so soft. It's so weird. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. It's weird. And I'm going to have to shave it this week coming up. So by the time that our cheap listeners hear this podcast, so next Friday, I will have had it's not nice. I will have had my surgery by then. So I'm going to have to shave what I have because where they're doing the biopsy on the last node is kind of like right underneath of my jaw. And I don't know if I go in there and let them shave off like what they're going to do. I don't know how they're going to butcher it. So I'm just going to clean shave everything again. And kind of grow back from there with the idea that I don't have to go back for like more chemo or anything. So like that's been weird as I go around. Like there's the Wawa that I go to every morning to get my coffee. It's the same cashier that's there. She works Monday through Friday. She's great. And like, as I've been coming in this week, she's like, "Oh shit, look at you with your eyebrows." And I'm like, "Fuck you, April." Whatever. How dare you? And she was like, "No, they're coming back in. I can see them now for real." You know, I was like, "Oh, sweet. That actually makes me feel good." So like I'm feeling pretty positive where I am right now. I'm feeling pretty good. Like my hands are still pretty fucked up. I figured out I don't know what we were doing that led me to this discovery, but I can snap my fingers on my left hand, but I cannot do it on my right hand.
Huh.
And I always could before. That's like a new thing that I now can't do on my right hand until the nerve damage kind of goes away and feels better. So I'm looking forward to that, I guess, to be able to snap correctly on both hands. I don't know, it's weird. It's slowly getting better. Like the pain in my legs and my feet is getting better. But I do get tired now that I'm like working more consistently and not taking like a week off in between with chemo treatments and whatnot. I do find myself by the end of the day, like my feet fucking hurt, you know? But it's good, you know, it's kind of a good, like I'm using them, I'm getting like back into like working shape and that sort of thing. So overall, man, we're feeling pretty positive. It's been a relatively easy, quiet week this week, which has been nice. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I've also had a somewhat quiet week. I mean, our evenings have been a little booked this week. I did 2 local political meetings this week, which I won't get into too much on here, but it's you know.
But you solved all the problems.
I did. I solved everything.
Great.
I solved
Wonderful.
everything. The biggest issue is that we need to do things, and right now there's just a lot of talking about things.
Yeah. Oh, love that. Love the talking stage and the no action stage.
Yeah,
it's my favorite style. That I live in that stage. I'm good there. I rock at that stage.
But other
it's
than
hard.
That, yeah, it hasn't been an extraordinarily busy week. So I mean, the weekend was pretty packed. Saturday was the Roadhouse Marathon, which you can hear all about that on a theater near you, which goes up early access on Monday and then goes up regularly on Wednesday. That was a blast. I got to eat at Texas Roadhouse for the first time, which was quite an experience.
Texas Roadhouse is fine.
Yeah, it was. The food was pretty tasty. It was packed. It was so thoroughly packed.
Really?
Yeah, just like line out the door, kind of a thing. 40 minute wait. They bring you in, and there's like this glass case. Like, would you like to choose your steak? And I'm like, I don't know enough about steak to answer that question. I think we'll just order something when I get to the table. But thank you. But no, it was a really fun day watching Roadhouse, and then watching Roadhouse, and then going to Roadhouse, and then coming back here and talking about Roadhouse. It was a hell of a day. It was a good time.
That's the kind of stupid I'm into.
Yeah, that was. I think it was a really good episode of the podcast too. I'm proud of that one. The next day, I went to see the Flyers with my mom. I got her tickets to see the Flyers with me for Christmas. And we went out there, and they got just fucking wrecked by the Devils.
I wasn't going to say anything.
When I bought the tickets, the Flyers and the Devils were pretty evenly matched. Like,
yeah,
we could have taken the Devils when I bought the tickets. We are now second to last in the division, unless the Bruins, I think, were the only ones that were worse than us, but it was only by one game. So we could have actually made it to the very bottom by now. I kind of stopped paying attention. Just oh no, it looks like we won a game. We won yesterday.
Sports are in a weird place.
We beat the Lightning. Are we? So where are we at?
You beat the Lightning?
Yeah, we did.
The Florida hockey teams are shockingly, upsettingly good at hockey.
Here's the thing: we beat the fucking Jets. They're the best. We beat them, and then we lost to everyone else. Like, what's happening? Could you guys just we're at the first off, yes, we lost, but we had a fucking ball. Like, my mom and I just had a blast. It was so easy to get in and out of the stadium. It was just the last time we went to a Flyers game, it was not this well organized. Like, the
was it in the same stadium? Was it at what's that stadium? The Wells Fargo?
Yes, the Wells Fargo Stadium, which was the Wachovia Stadium, which before that was the best stadium.
The Wachovia Center.
The Wachovia Center. It used to be the FU Center, the First Union Center. Come on. Yeah. It was the FU Center.
That was so Philly.
Oh,
that's the most Philly thing that is ever Phillied.
Oh, my God. Anyways, but it was very, very easy to get in and out. It was, it's the Penguins, not the Bruins. Yeah, we're still beating the Penguins by one game. So keep it up, guys.
I despise driving into Philadelphia every day. I had this, so they raised the toll on the bridges to go into Philly to $6, right? Which is absurd that I pay that much money every fucking day. And there's no discount if you have Easy Pass. So I don't have Easy Pass because fuck Easy Pass.
Remember
for
when,
so many reasons.
It was like $2, and it was like even that felt like it was a lot to pay for a toll. It's like, all right, I get it. We're going over a bridge into the city. It's $2.
It's not the Verrazano, and it's not like the GW or whatever, but it's still like $6 to get into Philly. I don't want to be in Philly. Fuck, man. But I gave the toll taker this morning when I drove into work this morning. I gave the guy at the toll booth $21 because the toll is $6, and it took a longer than you would like time for him to figure out why I gave him $21. Like, he
used to come up a lot in retail.
Yeah. Like, but he kind of made the motion and looked at me like, you gave me an extra $1. I was like, I didn't. Figure it out. Let's work that math there. You'll get there eventually. And he did. He was, I just give you a 10 and a 5. Yep, that's what you do.
There it is.
tried to make your life a little bit easier so you didn't have to count out 4 singles, which sounds just like a fucking nightmare all the time to just... Anyway. But I will say that as much as doing most things in Philadelphia is a goddamn nightmare, getting to see the Eagles, the Phillies, or the Wells Fargo Center is incredibly easy.
Yeah, they've really refined getting to and from the sports complex. So good on you, Philly. Anyways, it was a really fun game. I had some good food. We got some really good ice cream, and I got a hot dog and these giant mozzarella sticks. Like,
nice.
It was a good time. It was a really good time. The crowd was having a good time with it too. Like, there was a couple of really obnoxious Devils fans. Like, this one guy in particular was just fucking plastered the whole time. And it was just, he was in a sea of Flyers fans, and every 5 minutes, let's go Devils! And like everyone around him, we just started making fun of him. We were just like,
yeah,
could you speak up? We can't fucking hear you. Like, and then at a certain point, the crowd just started cheering for the Eagles, right? Because like, what else are you going to do at this point?
The most, again, Philly, Jesus Christ.
Well, what are we going to do? Cheer for the Flyers? They're getting the shit beat out of them.
I don't know, but you don't cheer for the Eagles. They're not playing.
That's the joke. They're like, well, we got nothing else.
But it's not a joke. That's the thing. They have to, again, remind everyone how to spell the team's name and that they're not fucking playing.
I hate to break it to you, but that's also how the Devils cheer, by reminding you how to spell their fucking name.
I know. I don't bring it up very often. To be fair, I am a Devils a Jace fan. Like, if I had to pick a team, I will pick the Devils, but I don't watch a lot of hockey.
We had some really fun interactions on the way out with some Devil fans. It's like, we were walking out, and this guy had this hat on that just said hat on it, and I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I love your hat.
Do you know why?
No.
Okay, so you know how like a lot of sports teams do like alternate jerseys, or like the third jersey. You have the home jersey, the away jersey, and then your alternate third jersey. Okay, the New Jersey Devils play in New Jersey, right? So on their jerseys, they just wrote the word Jersey because they are from Jersey. And wasn't that funny? And then, like, a month or so after they debuted those as their third uniform, somebody was like, we should fucking make a hat. Because that's fucking funny. And they did, and it sold incredibly well. But that's why. Like, they have, it's just like a black kit that just says, like, it's just got a nice, like, fancy script jersey across the chest.
That's funny.
It's awesome. That's great.
So I said that I really liked the hat, and I was like, hey, good job kicking our ass. Not that you should be all that proud of it.
Yeah, like it wasn't hard.
I don't think you guys really needed to flex that month. And there was a point where, like, because it was 2-0, and then we scored, and it was like, okay, now we're back in it. Game's not over yet. And then we pulled the goalie.
But it was.
Then we pulled the goalie. And that's... Yeah. Apparently it works more often than I think it does, but I don't think it does for the Flyers. I feel like every time I've ever seen the Flyers pull the goalie, it's like, well, this is the end times. Because, like, here's one of the things that I know about the Flyers is that they're really good at getting shorthanded goals.
Yeah.
So why you would ever pull the goalie, right? Because, like, that just means... Well, now we're just evening the playing field. We're specifically not playing to the one thing that we appear to be kind of good at.
You should pull a defenseman. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it works.
But even if you add a second goalie, pull a defenseman,
just get
add a second goalie.
Out there. Yeah, that's a great idea. Love that.
Anyways, that was a hoot. So that was Sunday, but like it also meant that I didn't get to do. I haven't made pizza in 2 weeks. I haven't. I was so behind on chores. Fortunately, work was a little bit lighter this week because, I didn't have to write a blog. Which was lovely. And I was able to kind of catch up on a few chores throughout the course of the week. And work itself wasn't brutally difficult. Like the video I had to make wasn't super hard. And it just kind of all came together. We're doing some planning for the next issue of Nintendo Force, trying to like figure out what direction we're going in as far as like calling if this gets announced, I'll cover this. If this gets announced, I'll cover this, because we're all just in this holding pattern
right now. Yeah.
But it's April 2nd. That April 2nd direct is like that's what the whole issue is really hinging on. So it's getting really exciting to be involved in that. And I think that was, made biscuits and gravy for breakfast this week again, which was really nice. I have one bit left to do tomorrow morning, so I can make it one more day. Gym's been good this week, although I'm so usually when I get there, my friend Eric has been there for a little while. I usually catch like her at the end of her routine as I'm getting started. But today she was there later than usual, and she was actually doing some weightlifting. So I went over to see how she does it, because I'm always looking to learn.
I went over to mansplain it to her. See what you want to do, Erica. So you want to lift the weight.
The complete opposite. Because, her husband works at a gym. Like, he knows his shit. And I know that he has shown her the proper way to do things. And seeing as I'm always in pain, I like to try to pick up tips wherever I can.
Sure.
So I saw her lifting weights, and I was like, explain. And so she was telling me, like, how she was planting her feet, how she was, like, holding her stomach and all that, as she's just lifting 2 weights. And I'm like, it's suddenly extremely obvious to me the vast ocean of shit I don't know about being at the gym. And she was like, seriously, if it wasn't for my husband, I wouldn't know any of this stuff. If you can afford to have a personal trainer for one day, just do one day to have a trainer show you all the forms.
Huge difference.
She said that to me when I first started at the gym, and I was like, I think I'm just going to take it easy, and I won't do anything that'll hurt myself. And clearly, I can hurt myself doing any number of things. So,
yeah. So I looked at the Stairmaster and pulled a hammy.
It's ridiculous. Fucking Stairmaster. No, but it's been fun. And my other friend Lisa started going there. I think I mentioned that she started going there. But it's like, so my inspiration for going to the gym is Erica. And apparently I am Lisa's inspiration to go to the gym, which makes me feel really proud.
Fucking great.
Like, I've kind of inspired a friend to go to the gym. And like, she said, yes, I think it was yesterday that it was Wednesday that I saw her, and she was like, I felt like shit this morning, but I was like, you know what? Kris is going to be there. And if he's going to be there, he doesn't sleep ever. So the least I can do is go and show up. So that felt really, I was so proud, and I felt like it really just warmed my heart, because she was the one who got me into running when I worked at the tech center, and she doesn't run anymore either. Apparently running really hurts people's knees.
It's fucking stupid. It's really bad for you. Yeah, like, not for nothing, it's not good for you, and it makes you a crazy person. Full stop.
So yeah, the gym's been going well, and I'm still at 3 days. I'm thinking April I might start to do 5. But so Monday, Wednesday, Friday are my days that I go, and then I push myself. I'm thinking to start going, because I'm waking up that early anyway now, because I'm just used to it. So I can't.
Right.
I have
so
a hard time
you're up every day anyway.
I'm up every day anyway. So I'm thinking on those other 2 days, I'm just going to go and do some basic, like, just walk on the treadmill for 20 minutes to get my heart rate up, and then sit in the sauna, and that'll be that. Like, I'm not going to...
Yeah, you go do some cardio and...
Just some basic cardio and call it a day. Because I got to... Sitting in the sauna and sweating the fuck out of myself has been so much more rewarding than I ever thought it would be, because I hate the heat. But this is a dry sauna. Yeah. And I don't know what it is about sitting in there. Like, it's like sitting in an oven, but not like a wet oven. Like, it's not like it's hot outside, after exercising, sitting there and just sweating feels really good. And I never in a million years would have expected that.
See, it sounds like a nightmare. Like when we talk about like remodeling the bathroom upstairs, or like adding an addition to the house, or like whatever, like, oh, if we add a master bathroom, like, I don't fucking care. I just want a sauna. I want a fucking steam sauna, shower. You can have, like, I'm like, babe, you can have whatever the fuck else you want in here, because we're going to have to mortgage our mortgage to do it anyway. So dream big, dreamer. You know, that's what I want, though. Like, I want a fucking schwitz in my bathroom. I would do that daily. You sweat out all your fucking toxins. Like, it just cleans you out.
I swear I feel so much better after doing all that nasty sweating. And then I based in it for like an hour or two, because I come home and I walk the dog, and I'm, I still like, I can't. I see people at the gym, like, they finish working out and they take a shower, and I'm like, that's fucking pointless to me. Like, I've done that before, and then I get out of the shower and I'm still sweating. So, like, within 15 minutes, I'm no better off than I was before I took a shower.
Yeah.
Like, that just does not work for me. I am too
You're
Italian.
You're a sweaty dude.
I
it's
just sweat. But yeah, so I think really just having an excuse to go sit in that sauna after working up a sweat, it puts me in such a better mental place for the rest of the day. I think I think starting in April, I'm going to try to make that my regular routine, and then that's it. Awesome. I hit 5 days a week at the gym, and between that and brushing my teeth earlier, so I'm kind of guaranteeing myself to not eat so late at night and having fewer desserts. I think I'm moving in the right place. I made doctor's appointments for my head, and I've taken the first steps in finding a therapist, getting new prescription for my glasses.
That's fucking great, man.
I'm working hard on self-improvement.
That is good stuff. I did get one good piece of news today. Speaking of medical stuff, I've been taking this, one of the medications that I've been taking is called allopurinol. And it's a uric acid blocker, to help with your kidneys and that sort of stuff, because it's one of the things that chemo can fuck up. And, I haven't stopped taking any of the medication yet. But I ran out of allopurinol. That I took my last one this morning. So I messaged my doctor, and I was like, hey, this ran out. Do you want to send a script over to CVS? I'll go pick it up later today. And he was like, no, you don't need to take that one anymore. And I was like, oh, fucking sweet. That's amazing. Now I'm down to 9 pills a day as opposed to 10. But that's a fucking huge win. And I'm not even exaggerating. That is how much I take every day. I take 10 different fucking pills between morning, dinner, and at night. But he was like, no, like right now where your blood work was and health-wise and how you're feeling, you don't need to take that one. I was like, oh, that's a step in the right direction. That's awesome. Because I've kind of put everything on hold of like, right now I can taste peanut butter cups. So if I'm going to have to go back into chemo, I'm going to keep eating peanut butter cups for the next week or two until you tell me I got to go into the fucking hospital with chemo and shit again. Once I get the all clear, we've been talking about it as a family and all of that stuff of what are we going to do to get healthier and whatnot. I have switched back to overnight oats as my breakfast for the day. Because I got so used to just eating, small snacky type things throughout the day that I've just kind of continued that, but the portions have gotten larger because I can taste things and they're not the most healthy snacks in the world. But the only time I ever really feel full after a breakfast-ish kind of, because I don't eat first thing when I get up. Food first thing in the morning is fucking disgusting. If it's not coffee, I'm just not fucking interested. But eventually, I get to work and do a little bit. And then if I eat my overnight oats, then I feel full, and I feel pretty good for most of the day. So I have switched back to that this week, which has been nice. If you like oatmeal. If you don't like oatmeal, this isn't going to change your mind.
Yeah, no, I'm not an oatmeal kind of guy. I feel like I should be an oatmeal kind of guy.
I fucking love it, man. I genuinely love it. But, the overnight.
It'd be nice to have that extra option, for a breakfast type situation.
Yeah,
but alas, it's one of those things that I just haven't been able to convince myself to try and get into.
What I like about it so much is that it's real easy to prep, because it's equal parts liquid and oats. So
I make oatmeal for my kids. Ellie eats oatmeal sometimes, so I'm familiar with making oatmeal. It's very easy.
Oh, I'm just saying, good. Even for the overnight oats, it's the same thing.
Right.
Almond milk, regular milk, whatever the fuck you're doing, it's just equal parts, a little bit of sugar, some cinnamon, a little bit of peanut butter powder. That's all I do in it. And then in the morning, if you have time or whatever, you can chop up a couple bananas or throw some fruit in there. That. But I just like it because I can do it. It takes 2 or 3 minutes before I go to bed. Or, before I go shower or whatever. And then in the morning, I just grab it and breakfast is ready. It's not an additional step in the morning. It's already prepped.
I get that.
Yeah, I like it. It's good stuff.
Sounds lovely.
Did you play any games this week?
Oh, I did. I very much played some games this week. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about Paper Mario 1,000 Year Door, because I feel like I haven't been giving it the attention it deserves on the show, because I'm playing it on Saturday. I'll be playing it tomorrow morning, and then I won't get to play it for the entire week, so it's not fresh in my mind. So I took a bunch of mental notes that I wanted to specifically talk about why I'm enjoying 1,000 Year Door, because I feel like I didn't really give it its fair shake on the show, and I am really enjoying the game. I'm super thankful that I got it as a gift, and I am definitely enjoying the crap out of it. So the writing is great. That is not a surprise, as that's kind of what these games are known for, is having really clever writing. But the battle system is really fun. It's very active, similar to Super Mario RPG. So the battles take place on a stage, and the audience interacts with you while you're
right.
Which I knew to an extent of there's always this audience there, and you want to make them applaud by doing cool moves. What I didn't know was I'm to the point where occasionally somebody in the audience just chuck a brick at my head, the fuck?
What the fuck, man?
That is not cool.
But it is kind of cool thing to do.
It's a neat thing to have to pay attention to. I just did I'm still early on. I just unlocked Koops, I think his name is. So he's the little Koopa Troopa character that's got real low self-esteem, and figuring out the timed attacks and whatnot is fun. It's reminding me a bit of Mario RPG. I have this nostalgic connection to Mario RPG, so it's kind of hard for anything to top that game. And it is really pretty. The visuals are very nice in this Switch version. It's a really good looking game. I think my only gripe with it so far is that I don't love the music. I like the music, but I love the Mario RPG music. I like the music in this game so far. There have been a couple of tunes that have stood out, but all in all, I haven't been blown away by its soundtrack, and that's been really the only thing that's kind of held me back from being so completely obsessively in love with it. But all in all, I'm really enjoying it, and I'm not going to stop playing it anytime soon. So it's just that I only have the weekends to play it. I can't spend the time. I can't spend the time to actually get in, get any real gameplay in on something like an RPG that requires, thought and remembering what's going on during the week because I just don't have the time anymore. But I have been spending my Saturday mornings jumping into 1,000 Year Door, and I'm very happy to be doing that. It is
That's
a
awesome.
good time. Yeah. Let's see. Today, we had some chats about this on the in the Discord about the those Mario records that I've been getting through that Facebook page that's like super secretive and whatnot. So the Yoshi's Island pre-order went out today, and I snagged one. I was very excited about that. I got in early enough to get this. So there was 3 different variants, and the one that I really wanted to get was the Yoshi egg variant. So it's like,
oh, nice.
It's a white record with 3 big like green globs on it, so it kind of looks like a Yoshi egg.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Love
really
that.
excited about it. The reason this one kind of made me nervous was because the other 2 were like they were open pre-orders. It was like as many as we take pre-orders on, that's how many we're going to make. Whereas this one was like we made X number of these, so they're shipping out real soon. But order them straight away, and this is what we have. When once it's done, then we're moving on to the next thing. So I was very happy I got it. Ow! Oh my god, my butt. Been sitting for a long time. So yeah, that guy grabbed that today. Super happy about that. Let's see. Oh, back to and Super and Paper Mario 1,000 Year Door. I really suck at the airplane. The paper airplane bit that you do. You can fold yourself in a paper airplane.
Yeah.
I'm fucking terrible at it. I'm just trash at it. I have been putting some time into Donkey Kong since it landed on Nintendo Switch Online last week, because that game's a goddamn masterpiece, and it's just lovely to be able to turn it on and do a couple of levels at the end of the night. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Not much more to say about it. It's Donkey Kong. We've talked about it to death. Something that we haven't talked about on the show before that I got recently is Super Princess Peach for Nintendo DS.
Okay.
As I'm working on my the script for the next Mario video, which is definitely not going to happen on time. Like it's supposed to be up 2 weeks from now, and I'm still scripting it. Like, because the last 2 weeks have been way too crazy, and I haven't been able to put any time into writing the script. And I spent the time that I had for the script this week finishing up New Super Mario Brothers and cleaning up everything else that I had written, which was just not great.
Right.
But it's in really good shape now. I think I only have what do I have left to write in there? I think I only have 2 games left to cover. No, 3. So I have to cover Mario Galaxy and the Wii launch. So I'm talking about E3 2006 right now, which is where they first showed off Galaxy, if I'm not mistaken. And then, God, did I talk about the correction I had to make last week? Or
I don't
did that
think
happen?
so.
I think I found out about that afterwards. I had said in the 3rd Mario video that Mario when the Valiant comics happened, that was the first time Mario had been in comic books outside of Japan, which I learned on Mario Day was not true. There was in a Marvel comic, it was like a Marvel magazine, the first issue of it. I can actually go back to my script here because I changed the script and I had to update. I updated because you can't just update a YouTube video. You have to take it down and repost it, which I'm just not going to do over this one thing. So I put I just put it in the notes, the episode notes later, or the video description. I put a big thing about this in there. Mario had been depicted in comic book panels in the past in a Donkey Kong comic published in 1983's Blip magazine. So Blip magazine ran for, I think, 6 issues in 1983. And no wonder nobody's ever heard of it. Like, I had never heard of this before in my life. But apparently the first issue of Blip magazine, which is a Marvel published thing, there was a Donkey Kong comic.
Yeah.
It was like 3 pages long. So it wasn't its own comic book. So I'm still technically not wrong if I really want to bend it that way. But I had to but
if you want to be a dick about it, Yeah.
It stars Mario, and he's in comic books, and it's outside of Japan. So the statement that I made in the video was patently false. But to my defense, I didn't know about it. There was no indication that this existed anywhere in any of my research. I had never heard of it, and any of the research I did about comic books had been referred to these were the first American Mario comic books, which is technically true because this is a Donkey Kong comic book, even though it stars Mario. So, I don't know. Hooray for learning new things. It was an utterly fascinating afternoon, but I was also like, fuck, this video is wrong now.
Yeah.
So, when I do the big long version, when I edit it all together, I'm going to update with an extra sentence talking about Blip Magazine. And in the meantime, I don't know if I'm ever going to redo this one and re-upload it just to fix that one thing.
Right.
I feel like the description might be enough. But anyways, I have to cover Galaxy.
Certainly the internet will be fair and just in their pointing out to you that you may have got something wrong.
True, but
It'll
nobody has. None of the comments on this video has mentioned anything about it because I don't think anyone really knew about this thing. So far I've lucked out, but anybody who knows about it and sees this video and hears me say that will absolutely jump down my throat because that's what the internet's all about.
You fucking idiot!
Trash.
This fucking guy doesn't
thumbs
know.
Down, 0 out of 10. Guy knows nothing about nothing.
Nothing. He doesn't even like fucking Mario. I bet.
So anyway. I'm covering in this one, starting with Mario 64 DS, then Super Princess Peach, then quick side mention of Princess Toadstool's Castle Run and Princess Peach Showtime, then New Super Mario Brothers, and then I still have to write about Galaxy, New Super Mario Brothers Wii, and Galaxy 2. So fortunately, there's not a lot to say about New Super Mario Brothers Wii because there's just not a lot of new content per se. Like, there's not much to say about it that I didn't already say in New Super Mario Brothers. Like, it's not that different of a game. And the same thing goes for Galaxy 2. So once I really get Galaxy done, I can crank out Wii and Galaxy 2 fairly quickly. But anyway, in preparation for actually making the video, I didn't own Super Princess Peach, so I found a copy of it online so that I could take pictures of it and get the footage of it for the video. And I've never actually played it before, so I put a little bit of time into it, and it is okay. It's
what a ringing endorsement.
Yeah, it's not this is a weird little release here. Apparently it got announced a lot sooner than I thought it did. There's some really early screenshots of it in I think a Nintendo Power that apparently the game started life as a GBA game and they hadn't really figured out what to do with the touch screen yet. So like the screenshots look really similar to the final product, except that instead of the game being on the top screen, the game's on the bottom screen, and the top screen's just like a static still shot of Princess Peach staring directly at you. It's really weird.
Oh, that's fun. Nothing creepy about that.
The whole thing with the game being about Peach not being in control of her emotions, which is what makes the game seem like it's super sexist, is not 100% accurate, which is interesting because it's not obvious that it's not accurate unless you really dive into the game's lore. Like, the story really is that there's this island called Vibe Island, and there's a thing there called the Vibe Scepter. And if you have the Vibe Scepter, you can control other people's emotions. So Bowser's like, I want this thing. Go get it. So he sends minions to go get it. They do go get it. And then once they do have it, they go and kidnap Mario and Luigi and Toad. Like, just change things up, I guess. They're like, fine, fuck it. We're going to kidnap the Mario brothers instead of the princess. To what end, I'm not entirely sure. But when they get the scepter, a Goomba has it and like is going to bring it to Bowser, but he just starts swinging it around and it just goes nuts. So everybody loses control of their emotions. Princess Peach has enough control over her emotions that she can use the over-emotional state that everyone's in to her advantage, which is how she can harness her anger to burst into flames. She can harness her sadness to cry literal rivers and run super fast. She can harness her joy to make herself fly around. So like The actual story of the game is that she is in more control over her emotions, but that's not obvious to anyone that isn't really reading into the text of like the manual and stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird thing. So as far as the actual gameplay goes, it's not so bad. It's not, there's something about it that's not really catching me. Like, you have this parasol with you the whole time, and you jump on characters, and then you can pick them up with the parasol. So it kind of reminds me a little bit of Kirby, and like Parry can pick things up similar to the way that Kirby kind of like inhales things. And you can use the enemies as projectiles. It does have a really nice look to it. It's like, the look is kind of based on Yoshi's Island, but not as, it doesn't have that whole like hand-drawn, like crayons and crafty look to it. It's just like if you took the Yoshi's Island world, but just made it straight sprite work. So it's got kind of it's very colorful, but the visuals are just ever so slightly lacking. So it's been an interesting game so far. I don't know how far into it I'm going to get myself. Right. Just because it's not catching me super great, but it's an interesting experience. I'm glad I have it. I'm glad I'm trying it. I just, who knows how long I'm actually going to put into it.
Well, all right then.
But the big one, the big thing that made my week, the big biggie is Be Brave, Barb. The new game from Thomas K. Young, the creator of Dadish, is out. Be Brave, Barb, and it is quite lovely. I do have some issues with it. I think so. This appears to be running on the same, at least, graphics engine that he established for Dadish 3D. So this is a polygonal game. It's not a 3D game. It's still a 2D game. And it works like... So it's all about kind of gravity bending, similar to Super Mario Galaxy, except it doesn't have consistent gravity that's constantly pulling in from all angles. It's whatever surface you're on, that's what the gravity is. So like if you just walk forward, like say you're on a rectangle and Barb is walking forward, and once she reaches the edge, she will then turn and walk on the next surface, and then turn and walk on the next surface, and then turn and walk. Yeah. Like, she will always walk forward. There's no walking off an edge. She'll just turn the corner, and now that's the source. That's the center of gravity. But if you get towards the end and you jump, you're not going to catch the gravity. Like in Mario Galaxy, if you jump off an edge, gravity is going to continue to wrap around and pull you towards the next surface as you're moving forward. If you jump off the edge of this one, you're just going to keep going as if you just jumped off the edge of that, because it doesn't change the gravity until your feet hit the ground of the next surface. Okay. It's a very strange thing to wrap your head. It's a strange thing to wrap your head around. And also it's not an auto runner per se, but you're always moving. You don't move your character. Barb is always walking forward. Okay. I'm not sure how I feel about that. It does add a certain layer of strategy to the game, but I also, I'm not sure it makes things better. It makes things harder and makes certain puzzle aspects, like there are blocks that you can land on that will stop you from moving until you start moving again. It's like there's that degree of, trying to time your movements out. But the stages even in the second world, the stages, at least for me, are already getting so long and complicated that, the one-hit kills of a Dadish game like this, having to do the beginning of a stage again when there's so much waiting involved, has become kind of obnoxious. Not enough to turn me off on the game. I'm still giddy. Like, I really enjoy the sheer absurdity of it. You are a cactus who this cat cloud thing showed up and stole your book of positive affirmations. And so, like, the game is like you're trying to find all the pages of your positive affirmation book while also talking to your therapist, who's a terrible therapist.
Yeah, that's outstanding. I love everything about that. It's
just wonderful. So when the secret things that you find in the stages are your positive affirmation pages, and some of them are just like, you're awesome, have a great day, like actual ones, and then other ones are just like, I don't pay attention to the things that don't matter. I complete the things that do matter, like dinner. I don't pay attention to the things that don't. Existential dread or something like that. It's super weird. Just super weird statements. The music's super catchy. The other thing that's weird about it is because it's polygonal. The whole game is kind of presented on a slight angle, which is, it looks neat, but in practice it makes some of the jumps more difficult to like kind of figure out where you are than it would be had it just been either viewing it straight on or sprite based like Dadish. And I really wish it was sprite based like Dadish, because it would make these things more easy to do, but it would also, I just feel like the sprite work has so much more personality than the polygon work. Like, Barb is a cute looking character, and I guess maybe it's easier to do it like this, to be able to animate certain things or make things work. I don't know. I just know that I think the 2D Dadish games look so much better than this. And this doesn't look bad by any stretch of the imagination. It really does not look bad. It's got an interesting, very simple look to it. But I think Dadish to my eyes, that sprite work looks so much better than the polygon stuff. And it worked for Dadish 3D because obviously it was 3D. But this is a 2D game, and I feel like it would look and play better if it was sprite based instead of polygon based. Yeah.
I mean, but we're always going to feel that way because that's just who we are.
I mean, yes and no. There are times where I've seen like that really work out well. Like, the polygonal backgrounds of DuckTales Remastered, you know what I mean? Or
sure.
The Kirby games, the 2D Kirby games that have, the sprite based ones can be gorgeous, but like some of the 3D-ish ones have done some amazing things. Donkey Kong, Tropical Freeze, when you're utilizing the fact that the game is polygonal to do really interesting camera work and things like that, like there's definitely a place for this kind of a thing. But on this specific instance where the visuals are so simplistic, like by design, like it's like they're taking the notion of a 2D image and wrapping it around some 3D polygons. It almost seems like it loses a piece of its personality, of the Dadish personality.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. So I don't know. It's a very cool game. I'm super happy it exists. I love that Thomas K. Young just keeps doing things and continues to be funny. And it's a very clever game. And I'm looking forward to spending more time with it. And that is what I've been up to. Have you played any games this week? Have you finally tried Vengeance Hunters?
I did.
Yay! What did you think?
I did. I really like it. I only was able to get through like the first 2 stages before my hands started cramping, unfortunately. Because there's a lot of like that continual button pressing.
Yeah.
It just kind of like drives my hand crazy. But I really like it. I'm really enjoying it.
A neat beat 'em up. I wasn't blown away by it, but I played it with Paul when he was here a few weeks ago. And me and my friend Paul, we went through until we got a game over. So I think we went through like 5-ish stages. And I'm trying to remember, like, I definitely felt like the girl character was really fun to play as. Who were the 3 characters again?
It's the ex-cop looking guy, the big robot, and then the girl.
Big robot. I didn't have any fun with the big robot. I couldn't get the hang of using him very much. I liked the girl, but I really liked the guy. I think he was the one that I picked first. And
I think he was an ex-cop. Maybe I'm crazy. I might be misremembering.
But yeah, it's a pretty neat game. It's if you really like beat 'em ups, the thing that confuses me the most about it is the Neo Geo collectors, and that's Neo Geo collectors in general, like not just specifically for this game, but like I just cannot wrap my head around dropping like $300-$400 to have this game on a cartridge. Like,
I don't get that part of it, at all.
Now, again, I'm not upset at those people.
But that's not me.
But exactly. It's not me. I'm not upset at those people. It's just it's a piece of video game history. Neo Geo collecting is just something that I don't understand. Maybe it's just because I don't have that kind of money. Like, maybe if I had fucking money, sure, I would be dropping hundreds of dollars on specific cartridges. But like, I don't know. It was Paul. The thing that Paul said was like, he felt like the game thought he was supposed to already know who these characters were. And like, I guess because he's so used to playing stuff like Ninja Turtles and Karate Kid and G.I. Joe, like the newer ones that have been coming out, that he thought that this might have been based on a property that he should have known. I was like, no, this is all new original stuff. This isn't an existing property to learn that you should already know about. And that kind of threw him a bit for a loop, but we did have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a perfectly competent beat 'em up. Like you said, there's nothing that blew me away. I thought the enemy designs were cool. It controls really well. All of the things that you want from a beat 'em up. I don't know that any beat 'em up has ever like really blown me away since like X-Men and Turtles back in the day.
Right.
Like those were the two that I was like, oh my God, these are incredible. But like even like Final Fight and like the stalwart beat 'em up games, the pillars, if you will, to tie it back to like, hey, you should read our blog, specifically when I write it. Like even the games that are like the defining beat 'em up games, I don't know that I would go so far as to be like, this game blew me away. Because beat 'em ups are what they are. They're a simple game. But that being said, I thought it was a blast. I had a lot of fun with what I was able to get through. And I wanted to play more of it. I just couldn't. Like my hand, it like the repeated button pressing necessary for a beat 'em up causes like this really interesting cramp that goes kind of up into my forearm almost, where it's just really uncomfortable. But yeah, I liked it a lot and definitely want to spend, more time with it. I thought it was really cool and definitely worth like, worth the $20 or whatever that they're asking for it. 400? No. But again, that, like you said, we're not the Neo Geo people. I mean, I'm sitting here debating whether or not I want to drop like $100 on a Penny Parker and Spider robot figure for my Spider-Verse display because there are no good Penny Parker figures in the correct scale. So like, I have to import something, But that's where I spend my money. I don't spend it on crazy video game stuff. I'm not, certainly not judging or anything. I did spend a lot more time with the kids playing Speedstorm. Man, it's really fucking fun. Like I am so blown away by how much fun me, Roddy, and Penn are having playing Speedstorm. It plays fucking great on the Steam Deck. Which is awesome. So we all have our own accounts. We can all race together. I've unlocked a couple other racers. Right now they're doing the Tron season, which is really cool. Because a lot of the maps and whatnot are Tron inspired. So that's really, really fun. I just unlocked, who the fuck did I unlock today? I unlocked Lilo, which I'm not like super interested in using, but I'm like working my way towards unlocking Beast and a couple other characters where I'm like, oh, this will be fun, and it's a really, I won't say it's as good as Mario Kart 8, but if for my money, it's honestly not that far off, which is like high praise. You know what I mean? Yeah. I really think this is a really outstanding kart racer. And I unashamedly love Disney properties. Like, and it's sparked some fun conversation where the kids have been like, wouldn't it be cool if they did a Princess and the Frog and you could have Dr. Facilier and the level would look like this and the music would sound really cool, because all the music in the game are these remixes of really traditional famous Disney songs, and they're kind of pumped up to be part of a racing game. So they're like, oh, it'd be really cool if they did the Dr. Facilier song, you know, You're My World Now, that whole thing, the other side. Like, this would be really cool in the level. And, oh, wouldn't it be cool if they did this Disney movie or Sword in the Stone or Robin Hood? And, like, it's just been really fun to dive into that, you know, with the kids and kind of explore some of the Disney characters and have fun with it. And Roddy's been super obsessed with King Candy from Wreck-It Ralph, and he just unlocked King Candy the other day. So I'm getting, like, texts from him like, I fucking did it, finally I unlocked all this motherfucker, because it's a free to play game, so there's a lot of like, if you want this character you can buy him, huh, you know, why don't you spend money on this thing or that thing or this in-game currency? And there is a lot of that bullshit in the game, but it's also within like 3 days of playing, I had 4 or 5 racers unlocked, and I've got Hercules and I've got Wally. And, like, it's fun, man. It's a really, really good fucking racing game. I'm enjoying the shit out of it. They also just, and I'm really surprised and really, really happy about it, they announced that the Disney Pixel RPG that Gung Ho did in Japan, in the United States, the worldwide, or whatever, and they had a collab for Puzzle & Dragons in Japan with it, which was the second time they had Disney stuff going on. The North American server never got the first run of the Disney collab, but they announced that it starts on Monday. I'm like, fuck yeah, I will definitely get these cards that are not going to impact my gameplay in Puzzle & Dragons really whatsoever, but I can have Peter Pan and Captain Hook on my North American account. Yes, I'm 100% into that. I fucking love Peter Pan. I am Peter Pan. Thank you very much. I will have that card. I'm looking forward to that shit. But the bulk of our time this week has been, we're probably about a half hour or so from finishing The Devil in Me, which is the Dark Pictures anthology, supermassive thing that is the Choose Your Own Adventure based on H.H. Holmes that we had started last week. I am really enjoying it. I wish they had gone into the lore of H.H. Holmes a little bit deeper than they have in the game, and I really don't think there's much time left for it. But it's good. You know, like, if you know what you're getting into, if you like the Supermassive style games where it's the choose your own adventure, and depending on the choices you make, some characters live, some characters die, then this has been really like a really cool game. It's definitely less polished than like The Quarry or Until Dawn, because they seem to do this Dark Pictures anthology a lot faster than the other games that they've done. And I think they were a little cheaper when they came out too. And you can definitely tell it's not as polished as some of the other stuff that they've offered. But still, it's pretty fucking dope. I have enjoyed my time with it. And it's one of those games that's really fun to play with someone else, where, you know, you get to make choices and like how you respond in different character interactions. And Tiff will be like, oh, I think we should do it this way, or no, we should do it that way, or like make this choice or that choice. And it opens up like that replayability factor as well. I dig it. It's fun. It's a good game. And that's what we've been up to.
Nice.
Yeah. Nothing super intense or anything, but, you know, like I said last week, I'm kind of slowly being able to get back into gaming a little bit more. The Steam spring sale is going on, so I've got a bunch of games on my wish list that I think I'm going to pick up that are really cheap. Trashman just gifted me a game that I threw on there the other day. It's like a visual novel, and I'm really interested to play it. It's got crazy positive reviews, and the game is called A Bag of Milk Outside of a Bag of Milk Outside of a Bag of Milk. That's the fucking name of the game. And I was like, yes, I'm into that. I don't know what the fuck that's about. But there's a bunch of shit that I think I'm going to pick up for really cheap. Some stuff I played before, like I think Portal 2 is $1.99 right now. Like, all right, I'll fucking buy Portal 2 again, you know, to have it on the Steam Deck.
Yeah, I guess you can't really say no to that.
You really can't. Undertale is 99 cents. Yeah, like, all right, I'll do that, and maybe I'll try a different run, like you did the pacifist run. Maybe I'll do a genocide run and see, like, compare notes at the end. But I've got like a bunch of games that I'm looking forward to on that as I either continue to get better or go into the hospital for 3 weeks with nothing else to fucking do. So we'll see. We'll kind of see where we end up. But yeah, it's been overall a pretty positive week and some fun games. I'm happy about it.
I love that.
Yeah, I love that for me. Yeah.
We just got a last minute question in the SAG bag here from Jamie Hill. On the rare chance this is still being recorded, guess what it is? We were just about to wrap it up.
Rare chance?
Right.
I mean, it's only 11. We've only been at this for 4 hours. Yeah.
He says, I'm going to be in New York City on April 9th through the 11th and plan on visiting the Nintendo store for the first time. Either or both of you up for letting me buy you lunch while doing me the honor of your company?
On April 11th?
April 11th.
Fuck, man, if we can make it, I'm down.
April 11th. I mean, I'm not going to say no off the bat. It doesn't seem likely, but what's the
is that a Saturday? If it's a weekday, I can't do it. But
it's a Friday.
Oh, then that I would have to be out. I would have to say no. I can't take any more days off of work.
Yeah. What was the other
Unless
day?
I'm in the hospital, and then I definitely can't do it.
Yeah,
but maybe I'll sneak out.
The 9th and the 11th, that's a Wednesday and a Friday. I don't know how plausible it is for me to get out there. I'd love to, because I'd love to go to the Nintendo World Store, especially after, you know, this is going to be after they officially pull back the curtain on Switch 2 stuff.
Yeah. I just want free lunch.
I love the idea of a free lunch. That is true. I mean, I'm gonna say probably not, but definitely not no yet. I will see if there's a way that I can make that work in my schedule. I got to see what's going on around that time. But thanks for the offer. Regardless,
I will
thank you very much for the offer.
I'm not going to say no either. Let me see what my results come back as, and then I might be able to make that work.
Yeah, I'd love to. I will say that I will definitely say that I'd love to. I don't know how realistic it is, but I'd love to. But with that, it's time for us to wrap this up because I'm exhausted. I just can't stay up till 11 o'clock anymore. I'm too
I know,
tired.
You're so old.
I know.
Fucking old ass man.
Trying to be all
drink
healthy and
coffee.
Stuff.
You fucking pussy.
Absolutely not. All right, everybody. That is our show. Join us next time for the March 10, 20, 30, 40. We're going to be talking about the best and brightest from decades past, and it should be a good time. We're on most social media platforms, and if you want to get in touch with us, we aren't very difficult to find. All it takes is a quick look at our show notes, and you'll see links to our social media accounts, as well as all manner of fun stuff like a link to our namesake, StoneAgeGamer.com, and more useful links than you can shake a joystick at. If you'd like to get early access to this show's episodes, as well as a bevy of other shows in the Geekade Podcast Network, check out our Patreon, also linked to in the show notes. It helps keep this show running week after week, and all our patrons are loved and appreciated. This show's theme song, Squared Roots, was written by Banjo Guy Ollie. You can learn all about his wonderful music and more by following the link to his YouTube channel, also in the show notes. And finally, as always, we'd like to thank our intrepid editor, Evan, for making this show listenable for all you folks. We'd like to thank all you folks for listening in the first place. That's it. On behalf of Dan and myself, keep playing games.